Don't we always do it live?
Always. Never gets old, man. Never gets old.
What, doing the monkey?
That too. It's the sauna. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How the hell are you out there in TV land? Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome to another Saturday Night Sci-Fi Shadow Chat. Again, because we've done this is probably the third time we've talked about cyborgs, robots, and androids, but this time we actually have a different spin because we're going to be talking about the robotics and cybernetic companies and android factories of the year 2525 for our upcoming Traveler game. And I don't know about you, but I did some stuff, more pictures than words, because I was trying
You're
to.
frozen again.
Some biscuit.
Um,
And
yeah,
I'm having camera problems.
I'm going to be winging it. You're going to need. Here's what I recommend for a robot that could be released in the next 500 years. One that takes video properly without freezing all the time.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm certain I have an update, and I did not have the time to fart around with that. So I'll be blinking in and out from time to time. So
Yeah. Yeah, of course, that robot will be like the most advanced cybernetic machine. Like that's a guy with like a 1980s Polaroid camera.
sure.
You know,
And I literally could have gone on writing and making images from Night Cafe well into the wee hours, but I had to get up early to put away the Christmas tree and all the lights and all that fun stuff. And then we got a call. Then we got a text message from our insurance company. They wanted to come and take some pictures of the outside of the house because they want to, that's what they do to try to cancel your insurance so that they can then screw with you other ways because we had this issue a couple years ago where they didn't want firewood around our house anywhere, and I'm like, where are we supposed to put it? Inside? Bigger fire hazard? And uh, it's we don't have a lot, but it's enough to if you could ever get it lit, it would be a fire hazard. But if you took a blowtorch to it and laid it there for 5 minutes, you'd get a smolder.
Yeah.
It's hardwood. Most of it's still drying from the previous year. And, with all the fires going on, I guess they thought, hey, let's go check and see if they're doing something dumb. So I had to hide it all. And I don't even know if they came by because we left shortly thereafter. I need to check with the boys.
If it's in a proper bunker, it's grounds for lawsuit if they fuck with your insurance because that's what the bunkers are there for, to maintain.
Yeah, we don't have a proper one, but we've got a fence dividing our house and the neighbor that's more flammable than my firewood.
Yeah.
And the firewood is.
Trust me, look up what defines a bunker, and it's like a tarp covering it.
Yeah, that's usually what I have. I've got it in drying racks in some places. In other places, they're just stumps that we use to sit on in different locations in the backyard. And when I need them, I'll roll them over and chop them up. And to be honest, I've only got enough fire for like 2 or 3 nights, maybe. That's ready and processed. The other stuff needs to be chopped, but worst comes to worst, I'll throw it in the garage and they can kiss my ass.
Yeah. I'd be more concerned with the Mexicans. You got your tree you took out, and one of them might run up, like Grandma might run up with a bottle of kerosene and try to get warm.
Yeah, no. It should be fine. We'll obviously here in a couple of days, and my freaking bank was being retarded. I want to pull a bunch of money out, and suddenly I have like a $500 limit, and bills are due, and Uh,
Yeah, $500 limit's kind of 18-year-old first bank account kind of.
Considering the last month I pulled out more than that considerably,
Yeah.
and the ATMs were down, so I went into the teller and she gave me mostly what I wanted and left the rest in there to make sure I didn't go overdrawn, which thankfully I didn't. I forgot I'd done that, so that was good. But it was just like this is a hell of a day, just busy, 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 busy. Up at like 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
and
for those of you that don't get what I was referencing, a Mexican guy got caught burning down Christmas trees from people's front yards, and that was believed to be the start of at least one of the fires in LA County.
yeah, there's what like three or four going now, and
Yeah,
normally we'd hit you guys up for one of your fabulous water scooper planes, but I guess we lost your number.
yeah.
I remember seeing that years and years ago that you guys were the only ones who had them,
Yeah,
on this continent. And I'm like, you've got to be
we build the water bombers. The water
right.
bombers were built at well, they used to be built at a de Havilland plant, uh, which is odd because the first generation of water bombers, the Beaver, that's the name of the plane. Like a
No,
third of the production run was bought by the U.S. Army, and they're just sitting in a field somewhere. But those are planes from like the 40s or 50s, right?
mm,
So
yeah,
they're
you would think
not
that
viable.
with that technology, even if it
Oh, these were like bush planes, but the really
what's
nice
up,
water
Raven? What's up,
bombers
Cal?
from the 80s. Hey
Yeah,
guys,
yeah, I remember it must have been the 80s or the 90s that I was watching it. I'm like, genius. Why don't we just
yeah,
do that every time California? Well, why don't we just build some of our own? But
or buy some and keep them in storage. You do like
Mhm.
a training flight every few months.
Yeah, I know. I heard
You
the
know,
beep. It was weird. I heard the beep before I saw the number increase. Welcome to the show, George. How you doing?
yeah,
Again, Raven Cal. Welcome to the show. You guys know where the link is in Discord. If you want
yeah,
to pop in and talk about robots and cyborgs, and I didn't do any actual androids, but we'll probably make this a two-parter. See how long we can go. Because why not? I think it's probably the most talked about subject on this channel, other than
you okay, George?
apparently not.
Um, that was spooky. All fancy color lights, and it's like we were being attacked by the cybernetics department.
Cindy, thanks for joining. The fire's at least 100 miles away, and we can't even smell it from here. We've got a lot of mountains in the way, and normally, if this was July, I'd be worried, but my fire hydrants are full, or my fire extinguishers are full. The big tall ones are like 2.5 feet tall, about this big around, heavy as hell, and you got to fill them with water and then pressurize them with like a bicycle pump. They work, and you know, if things start catching on fire, first thing I'll do is hook up the chainsaw and knock a couple of trees down on the sidewalks that are the only danger other than neighboring houses catching on fire, and take care of it myself. Even though we've got a fire department just 2 blocks away. George, welcome to the show. How you doing, man?
Yeah, or is it the crystalline entity again?
You could be, but thanks for
Hmm.
asking, Cindy. It's just amazing, how between the fire department cutting $18 million off the budget, which I'm pretty sure I've watched Independence Day. Um, we could have probably bought one of those planes with $18 million. Just saying,
Oh,
maybe
easy.
not. Um,
Um, yeah. So when they built the like they replaced the bush plane versions with like the dedicated like full size planes.
uh,
Fuck, I just dropped that. I can't remember the name of that plane though. The one that you're used to seeing, the bigger one with the scoop.
C-19 or something like that.
Yeah.
C, yeah, something like that. I don't remember the
Yeah.
number, but it's see something. Yeah, we see him. It's funny. Skunk Works is down the road from here. There's an airfield, all kinds of crap,
Yeah.
and we see those big, cargo planes doing like circles around the areas, training missions. We used to have a lake called Lake Elizabeth. It's probably too small
Yeah.
to use for that. But we've also got like an
They
aqueduct.
don't need much space to land on. But
My opinion on the drones is, from what I've heard, it's a scare tactic to run legislation through to um, not make them illegal, but to make it to where you have to register them more so than you do, so that everybody's afraid of drones and everybody's willing to go register their drones as if they were a firearm, because most
yeah,
drones have a camera on them, and if you can film things, then you can prove people are lying, or you can prove where people are and do things like that. Um,
yeah,
that's what I think it is, because at the very same moment the drone issue was an issue, they were trying to ram that legislation through, and it failed. Holman, welcome
yeah.
to the
Hey,
show. Long time no
Oh
see.
man.
that's right. It's been forever, um, so what are we talking about tonight? Besides, real world.
Robots.
Yeah, we're going to be
Okay.
talking about robots, cyborgs, androids for our traveler game. What the technology's like, and the different companies that exist in the year 2525. I did some work. I'll have some presentation stuff to show um, when we get into it. We always goof off for like the first half hour and do the how do you do's and stuff. You ready for the game tomorrow, man?
Sure, I should be ready. I
Good.
don't have to voice. Don't have to worry about weird things occurring. Um,
Okay.
but
Good.
well, I
Good.
mean,
Good. I know.
strange movie.
As far as I know, everybody else is ready except Grim, of course, who's still laid up. I think it's going on like 6 weeks now. And Raven, if she doesn't get sucked into a nexus or, attacked by raccoons or something, we'll have 7 out of 8. That's good. George, how's it going? Cool shirt.
Uh, I'm gonna bring up a picture of the plane I'm talking about. The one that they replaced those with in the 80s, maybe late
Okay.
70s. Where did I put that? Right here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, every time I hear a siren right now, I do get a little worried and have to look around, but I can't even smell it. And it takes, depending on traffic, about an hour through the mountains and hills to get to where we are from LA. And
Oh,
those fires are mostly, which is weird, all by the beach.
Oh
Water.
well, that's what happens whenever they start, shortchanging, brush management.
Mhm.
yeah. I don't know if you brought
George, are
that
you,
up.
are you caught in a tornado?
He's in bed.
Okay, because you were just like spinning.
That's just you. The rest of us see him just fine. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was rushing around before the show, like a chicken with its head cut off. So I feel like kind of amped up. So if I'm talking too fast, just tell me to relax, Shadow. Relax.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me or no?
Oh yeah,
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 Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
I see you're taking a page from Omen's book and reclining and getting as comfortable as possible.
I can do that too. So I don't know if you see the sidebar thing.
No, I did not, which is weird because so far I've been hearing them before they come up.
You know,
So what
I
are
don't
they?
like that. Okay, so this plane here is the one that they replaced
Okay.
in the late 70s, early 80s for water
I
bombers.
I find it unusual that there's a wheelchair. Is that for the pilot? The
No,
hired
no, this is at a
handicap?
museum.
Okay.
This is at the Canadian Bush Plane Heritage Center in Sault Ste. Marie.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, but you don't understand. That's what they did to push him out of the plane.
yeah, no,
And of course they are. Cal, I will refer everyone to the movie RoboCop and the Maui fires. I think the same shenanigans are going on, because if this happened a week from now, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't even be happening, just because Biden's a scumbag, and any damage he can do on his way out, I think he's going to try.
no, that's super conspiratorial, man.
Have you met me?
Hey, wait a minute.
I know,
Wait a
but
minute.
like,
This is against his own people. This isn't even against anything else. It's not even like. I mean, if it
Hey,
happened
wait
in
a minute.
Texas, that'd be a little bit different.
What do you mean my
I think
own
it's just,
people? The Irish? The Russian? What do you mean
you
my
know
own
what,
people?
Californians, the Governor Newsom, the whole thing. Unless it's
Dude,
there's fight
I
out
voted
there.
to, I voted to recall him every single time. I've got my stickers on the fridge to prove it.
Yeah.
One time was
Oh,
at the gun show, which was awesome because they literally said, "Hey, your son want to sign up?" And I'm like, "It's not 18." It was like, "So?" I'm like, "No, no, no, we're not getting the boy in any trouble."
so that plane,
Mhm.
right, was like one of the first purpose-built water bombers. Uh, and we sold a bunch of them to the French
So-
with explicit instructions that it must be used with fresh water only.
Oh,
oh
really?
no.
Oh,
And they didn't.
And they didn't.
Uh,
where they rust that out, like corrode the pipes and
Salt
stuff.
chewed the salt chewed the water tank right out of the fucking things.
Oh man, I can picture
Yeah.
them just
why are you looking at
dropping the whole tank on top of a tree.
Hello,
Well,
Wow.
because they're purpose built, the tanks were internal to the hull.
Hello.
Um,
About you? Yes, you're a good boy.
the rounded nose had a scoop, so they would literally skim a lake,
Mhm.
and it would force water into the plane, and then they would lift off. And the tank had a mixture system, so it could add like fire retardant to the water.
Mhm.
So when it dropped it, it would be like super anti-fire.
Yeah.
Uh,
Most of what I know about forest
Yeah.
firefighting is from that movie Chances Are with John Goodman.
yes. Most of what I know is working 6 months at that museum.
You should,
So
what are you doing?
Oh,
You
yeah.
look see Jackie? Want to see the bill?
So yeah.
give me a sunflower.
I don't remember shit about it, except for I'm pretty sure I could still turn
Come here.
the theater system on.
Come here. Come here.
I had to do that like 5 times a day.
Okay, I'm gonna turn this off because you can't see it anymore. It's weird. The sign in the back, like after a few minutes, the battery will start to wear down, and I turn it off, and I'll turn it back on. Tomorrow, and it'll be bright red again.
Time to rest.
I don't know. I
Heat,
don't know.
I guess, or cold, or
I don't
something
know.
stupid.
Yeah, something stupid. It's always something stupid.
Yeah,
So,
it,
so
it,
real
it
quick.
wouldn't have been hard to retrofit those tanks to be salt resistant. It's just they didn't pay for it, so they didn't get it.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Did it turn out okay?
Yeah,
It's a sealed copy of the radio recording record from Coca-Cola. I finally tracked one down for like $12. Still sealed from 1976 or something. I'm not gonna, I don't have a record player to put it on, and if I did, I wouldn't. I would. I'm
you
sure I
could
could find it
download it.
exactly. Which was it? You, Cal, who sent me all those radio? No, it was the guy from Nathan's show who did. I wonder if I still have that file.
All the shadow shows.
Yep. Like the
If you
whole, and not just them, but like a bunch of other stuff.
the radio plays.
Mhm.
If you do, send me a copy of it.
Yeah, definitely. Um,
I'll make space on my hard drive.
and a little piece of trivia
One
I
of
came
them.
across today. I know everybody's going to be like, no, 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 whatever. But did you guys know that I think it was 1966, two books won the Hugo Nebula Award,
Hmm.
and one of them was Dune, and they had to split the award that year. And the other
Yeah.
one was a little novel called This Immortal by none other than my good friend Roger Zelazny. And
This is
I'm going
mortal.
to get you a barkectomy.
I
Yes.
don't care. There's nothing Roger Zelazny could write that would be better than Doom or equal to Doom.
Well, in 1966, some folks, thought that was the case. And admittedly, it's not his best work. It's good. Um, and it's got a lot of interesting, concepts in it. Kind of funny. Uh, but I just came across that today, And I'm like, yep, that's my bro. Uh, Thanks, Cindy. Say hi to Raven when you talk to her for us. She's supposed to join us. I don't know where she is. Probably uh, trapped in her Jeep to stay warm or something. And I'm meaning to send her a little article
Yeah,
on how to not die in your car in the snow. Um, make sure your tailpipe is clear so that the exhaust, trying to run the car heater every 10 minutes or 10 minutes every hour doesn't back up into your car and kill you.
it's got
Um,
nothing to do with the heat. She's trying to stay safe from the cats.
right. Right. There's a problem when you've got to eat in the car to keep the animals out of your food, which is weird because I like the animals in my food all chopped up and cooked just right. I know you're there, Raven. That's what makes it funny. Get your ass in here.
If you were in the show, like sitting down there quietly, right below or next to George or whatever, we would still be saying the same things.
Yeah,
Instead of saying them tangentially to your face, we'd be saying them
I
directly.
I think we should make Raven our mascot. Roger that. That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
Roger, he was such a cool guy, guys. He did it all. He could do it all. Um, Poet, writer, screenwriter. Hey, what's up, Eldrad? Master fencer, martial artist, just everything. All the things you'd really want to actually know. Because I was thinking about that the other night. As a writer, writing these fight scenes all the time. I know a thing or two, but I never took any fencing classes, and that was one of the things he did so well. Is when he did the sword fights, he knew all the lingo because he was a master at it.
Yeah, you
Raven,
don't necessarily need to use
Raven,
the
I'm pretty
lingo
certain you are an android. So just tell us all your secrets, and
beep, beep, boop, boop.
what model number you are, and when they'll be fully in production, so all your fans can have a Raven bot right there. She's like, oh no, no.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Isn't she a Model 7, from like Blade Runner?
Mm-hmm.
No. I know exactly. We're making this robot. There's going to be some like joke company that makes this robot, and it's just going to like you buy it and you unbox it, and it's just like, let me tell you about Bigfoot. Have you seen the runes? Do you know about ley lines?
I was thinking about that too. What? Welcome to the show again.
UFOs are real, but not aliens.
They're just prototype robot drone things.
Don't listen to the news. Those aren't real aliens.
You mean like the ones in New Jersey?
I was thinking about.
Hey guys, it's totally not ours, but it's totally not Chinese, and don't worry about them. Like what?
Yeah, it's Craig's.
We're just trying to. I'm betting it's Eldrad. Called it. Welcome to the show, Eldrad. Eldrad, are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going. We're all just shooting the breeze, goofing off before we get into the actual conversation about robots and androids and cyborgs for our upcoming Traveler game. I was thinking,
ever going to happen?
It is, but it's only the beginning of the year, so I've got like at least a month before people can really start to give me any shit because it's like, hey, the month just started, man. Getting over the holidays, Boxing Day, and then I got Valentine's Day coming up, which of course I'm not going to do jack or squat about, but it's still, it's still a thing. I was thinking, check it out, celebrities are going to start, marketing their image, like when they start getting old. I can picture, famous movie stars saying, I'll sell my likeness to this company, specifically knowing that they're either going to be made into, like deep fakes or replacement actors. So Brad Pitt could be in movies until the next 500 years. His image could just be slapped over some other actor in a blue suit or green suit's face. Then it'll just be Brad Pitt for hundreds of years. But also robots, because you can custom make some of these doll robots with damn near any specification.
Doll.
Well, they don't walk around; they just lay there like most.
Wait a minute. Did
And,
you see Whitney? This was years ago. Did you see Whitney Cummings had one made of herself?
Maybe I don't know the name, but I've seen a bunch of women that have
Give them a few years.
Whitney,
they'll walk around. They'll walk around in another year or 2 or 3.
So Whitney Cummings actually had one of those like real dolls with the motorized and everything else made from her.
Okay.
And she was showing it off on Joe Rogan. This was
well, I know.
Is that the logo you want?
Nice. I know one of the Kardashians. She got divorced, and her husband actually had one of those with her face on it. I don't know if she got permission because they divorced, and he's like, I don't want to be with anybody but her. Blah blah blah.
No, you just ordered the body type from the fucking company and have some sculptor make the face.
Well, he went into the factory. There was this big video. He's in the factory, seeing everything, and he literally had one made and shipped to him. That is his ex-wife, which I found weird,
Creepy.
sad, creepy, and just a little bit, I don't know what the word is. I want to say romantic, but that sounds wrong. He's still in love with this woman who just, trashed his life and took, everything he owned, but he still, would rather fuck a piece of silicone. Probably not much difference because she was a Kardashian. So
yeah. Also, big important news: you're frozen with the water bottle right over your mouth, so it looks like you're preparing for a set. Matter of fact,
Well,
I will.
Are you saying
he's
preparing to be a fluffer?
Yes,
he's always
exactly.
saying
He's a fluffer. He's a fluffer. I have actually an Eldad Wolfsbane love doll, but no one's bought any yet. I don't know why.
Thank God. I mean, because how do you clean something like that?
Well, the rectum part is all closed off, so
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, you could buy one. It's only like $300,000 because it's like there's not very many of those made, so they're rare. Something like nobody wants to see a fat old guy like in a version of a love doll. So I think that's what it is.
Cindy, I was joking.
I'm just saying.
I say a lot
the
of
dolls of myself sell really well.
Yes, but they're all to other bears.
I'm okay with that.
But you only bought them yourself, though. You're only buying your own dolls. So
you're right. I know. I was going to say, I said other bears.
Oh, okay. Just himself.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck
you know what?
At least you bought your own. I haven't bought my own because I'm too poor right now. But hey,
I good sir, will never sign that contract. I will never work for you.
You're fired ahead of time. Then hey,
no. Hold it. The thing with Sydney is, she says it's really important, yet all these women stay with the men that don't care about Valentine's Day. So obviously, we look at results, not on what they say that they want.
I'll be right.
Yeah,
back.
but doesn't it work both ways? Cindy. We buy flowers that are the worst and biggest waste of money ever, and candy, and stuff like that. Jewelry, whatever. And what do we get? What's the stereotypical traditional gift men get from their honeys on Valentine's Day? Can anybody answer that question?
Sex.
Okay. Other than that, what's the traditional gift?
A bill.
There isn't one. That's how fucked up
I listened to them. Sex and the bill. Hopefully not from the same person.
Back in the day, there at least used to be the stereotypical traditional Father's Day gift, which was a crappy tie, right? We don't even get those anymore.
Yeah, that's right. It's all guns and tools now. I'm like all for it.
I'm okay with that. If we can make that improvement and the step in the right direction for us men, then there's got to be a stereotypical, traditional, sex gift that we get for Valentine's Day. I'm thinking steak.
Yeah, I want a steak. I want a box of steaks.
What
Don't
about
have to be a good
tofu?
one.
What about tofu or some
Fuck
vegan,
you.
Tofu.
This thing working?
thing?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
First
Oh,
off,
great.
well then, see, they'd be giving each other tofu.
Oh, okay.
Well, wait a minute. Men who eat tofu
pretty good.
don't have girlfriends, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
I've noticed that. I've seen that
Tofu.
happen. You know,
They have boyfriends and
They give each other tofu.
what's wrong with that though? If they have
Bikinis.
boyfriends, what's wrong with that? There's gay people out there. What's wrong with gay people?
White
Just making the distinction. I was talking about men from women.
One of my
And
best
that's
friends
make-
was a gay cowboy. You know, he was like pretty cool. He knew lots of chicks. So I'll tell you what.
they often
God
do. They
bless,
often
he knew
do.
girls.
No, I was just trying to make the distinction, for those guys who are married or have a girlfriend. We want a steak. We want it cooked right.
Screw
And-
that! I want a box of steaks from the steak emporium
Ruth
or
Chris
whatever.
Steakhouse. That's what we want. Some really good stuff.
But
Hey, so turn on living room lights.
Eldred, whatever. You knew John Voight.
John Voight. Well, we kind of hung out back in the day, but not anymore.
You said you knew a gay cowboy, so I'm assuming you
Yeah.
knew John Voight.
No, this was actually my buddy Brian. He actually passed away in 2011 from swine flu because he had AIDS and he was his system was immunodeficient.
I thought he went
Sad
by
story.
Joe Buck.
He went by Brian the Behind, as he called himself. He liked to joke though. He was never like he could not get offended. Like he would throw out insults to people.
I'm listing off the character from Midnight Cowboy, bro.
But you know what?
I haven't seen it. I guess.
I haven't seen women be able to cook the steak that good, so it doesn't matter. And that's what I'm eating right now.
Good
I'll
for
tell you what though. I got an interesting story. Is night before last, I may have drank a little bit too much bourbon, right? So I decided to try to record a video, and thank God I didn't post it because that afternoon, about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I woke up, right, and I went, "Holy shit!" And I also, hit it a little bit too hard, and I did. And so I watched the video. Oh my God, dude! Do not try to record videos drunk. I was not really drunk. That's what you call hammered.
Who's making that noise? Say you.
George.
Is your
Jorge,
wife
as we would
tickling
call
you?
him.
Is your wife tickling you?
He's having to keep things quiet so his wife doesn't hear you talking about wanting steak. He doesn't want to get. He's already banned from his fucking showroom. Can you mute when you shuffle shit around, man?
So tell me this: how good is Traveler once you get it going and once you get it started? How good is it? Have never played it.
Traveler is a simple system. That's all I'm going to say. From the system level, it's fine. But that said, it's very generic.
And it's really meant to be. You can literally use the Traveler system for any game. One of the original supplements
in space
back in the day literally had a whole bunch of famous sci-fi characters: the Stainless Steel Rat, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, and a couple other characters statted out in the back, but they didn't give you the names. The names, it was like one of those puzzles. You had to guess who they were, and then the names would be in the next book. And
Luke Skywalker.
And it's basically the system literally can be used for any game, other than like a real fantasy game with magic. You'd have to really tweak it to make it work. But it's just a basic generic. Your regular humans. You might have some psychic powers. That's kind of a whole different thing. And you go into the military or whatever your career is in 4-year increments where you gain skills and you decide when you want to start playing your character. So you could play the kid right out of college, or you could play the guy who's been in the military for 40 years and now he's retired but wants to go adventuring, and you decide when you're ready to start playing. So it's not like, you're more powerful than another character. You may be more proficient and skilled but you're not more powerful. Other than maybe you might have a little more money or whatever. But as you get older, your stats will start to decrease after the age of 34. So
That's
you
true.
know,
No.
it's a perfectly fine system that was really ahead of its time and has stood the test of time. Here it is, almost 50 years later, and almost nothing has changed from the game, even though they keep putting out new editions. There's some little tweaks here and there, but essentially it's almost identical from 1977 to Mongoose's 2022 or
Yeah, I
23.
have the 1977 version. They took it and made it into all the first three books into a nice hardcover. And
Okay,
someone had said, "You must get that," so I got it. It was
awesome.
somebody's blog that was like I really believed in, and but
I recommend you give it a good read, and you'll see how perfect it is. You could literally use it to run a Western game, a spy game, a cyberpunk game. You could run Call of Cthulhu with it. You just add one little mechanic for fear and insanity. You're good to go. Which there is an expansion that does that rather nicely. You could easily come up with another system of your own if you had to, but you could literally run any game with it and really not need anything but the core book that you have. There's a lot of stuff that's been made over the years and different editions. There's a GURPS edition, and I think there might be a Savage Worlds or something like that. There's other editions, but the classic is stands right next to the most recent edition as one of the best overall sci-fi games of all time. Everything's basically a 2d6 roll over a target number, roll 2d6, add your possible stat bonus, which is really unlikely, and your skill level to whatever you're trying to do. And if you roll over it, you did it. That's simple. You don't need anything fancier than that. Your strength, endurance, and dexterity are your hit points. So as you take damage, you decide where you want to lower your strength or your endurance or your dexterity. And as they lower, you start getting, weaker. Because let's face it, you take a bullet and you decide to take it off your strength, you're not lifting anything. You take it off your dex, you're just, limping along to get where you're going. You take it off your endurance, and like me, you get winded after going up a flight of stairs.
so you ever heard of Mark Miller? Mark Miller's way he runs Traveler. He almost
Uh,
runs it like a free Kriegspiel game or something like that. He runs it very freeform. It's pretty cool.
okay, I actually know someone who knows him and says he's a decent guy, but
He
um,
just sold off Traveler to Mongoose, by the way.
oh, he did.
Yeah.
Welcome back, George. I
Hey,
did not know
can
that,
you guys
but
hear me?
yes, we
Jorge,
can.
what's going on?
Cool. Hey, sorry, I had to take the case off my phone because the headphones were not like reaching the plug, I guess.
So,
I hate
Sorry,
that.
guys. I
yeah,
missed
he
the
sold it
chat.
last summer, and now all the various Travelers are under Mongoose for the most part. And it includes Twilight 2000, but Twilight 2000 will stay with Free League right now. It's a license, which to me makes sense. If they're doing it, that's one less thing you have to spend money on.
Well, at his age, unless he's got a big family, I could see, sure, take a big chunk of change, and his name will always be associated with it. But there's also another guy who did a lot of work that I kind of respected, a guy named Frank Chadwick, that I really haven't heard anything about in 40 years. It's easily in my top five favorite games, and uh, I mean the mechanic. The hard part is either running the game, if you're new to it, or you want to learn all the complexities of the technologies, when you could easily run a game and hand wave it, or never need to worry about the process of building a starship or what goes into all that. You could easily run a lot of sci-fi games that the players never own the ship; they're just on the ship. So what do they really need to know? Can they fix it? Yes or no? Give me a die roll. Okay, you rolled over an 8. You fixed the ship. Let's go.
It's a well supported system.
Oh
The
God,
rules are fairly simple. Yeah, it has its own issues like all games do, but
and that's a good point. With all of the material that's been made over the years, probably more so for Traveler than just about any other game, but of course, Dungeons and Dragons, and all of it, everything you can find, whether it was made back in the 70s or the 80s, all that old stuff from Judges Guild, it still works. You can eat. You don't have to do like a lot of fine tuning and twiddling with the rules or the NPCs. It's all like, okay, he's got mechanics 3. Okay, everybody knows what that means. Excuse me.
it's
Uh,
not bok choy, damn it. It's steak. This is ribeye.
Off grid, welcome to the show.
Yep, I'm just teasing you.
I'm not. I'm confused about this comment. Has anyone else in chat rode a horse or fought LARP slash HEMA or HEMA? I've ridden several horses over the years.
Yeah, been horseback riding.
Uh,
Not since I was a kid.
I didn't do LARP or HEMA. I did fencing though in
Okay,
college.
what's HEMA?
It's the more impact oriented.
Okay, like
Martial arts training.
It's high.
Oh, there's
It's European martial arts is what it is.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
And then
European
there's
martial-
the SCA. They use rattan weapons, which are full weight and full contact as well.
Oh, have any of you seen that new that the channels with Diadem or whatever it is? And they go like in full armor with like real armor and weapons and stuff. And
Yeah.
it's really cool to watch.
sounds good. Sounds
I
good.
am a former LARPer and former moderator of Shade's LARP List. Used to be the most famous, largest LARP website on the internet when it was dial-up days. That's how long ago this was. But
Oh wow. Yeah, I've never done the LARP thing. Historic European martial arts. Gotcha. Never heard of it, but sounds cool.
very badass people. The HEMA people are the probably the elite of. They're not really LARPers. They're more like reenactors.
I was going to say.
I don't even want to call them reenactors. It's the same thing as if you're learning any other martial arts. They go at it.
So,
They're
Michael,
badass. They're like you if you're not knowing what you're doing, they're going to hurt you. Or you'll get hurt.
yeah, I don't feel like doing that.
In the SCA though, I saw a guy get his. The guy hit him it was over in Beaumont, Texas. It was a group next to Lake Charles, Louisiana. Anyway, guy got hit in the nose, and his little metal piece that protected his nose came down and split his nose open. And then I saw another guy swung too hard, 16 gauge rounded metal on his upper leg there, broke his femur. So the SCA can have some incident. Now LARPing, once in a while there's a dumbass that'll, use a bow with that he put a padding on it with an arrow under it. I mean, an arrowhead, which is like, yeah, you can't. Yeah, there's actually people like that. I put some duct tape and foam on my hunting bow arrow, Wayne, my hunting arrow. Needless to say, we whipped the shit out of that guy. We kind of took some real sticks and made him never come back again.
I can imagine. Yeah, it sounds.
Like they sell arrows that have the head off on screw.
Yeah,
and they're typically like 30 cents more or less than the ones that don't, or at least they were back in the day.
Well, in modern arrows, the tips are screwable, so it's not even an issue.
Yeah.
The guy didn't unscrew
they
it.
Still make ones that don't unscrew still, but yeah.
All the ones I have the screw on off tips. Because I have
the point is they're just so common that they're not more expensive.
Right. Off grid has got a comment here. I plan begin dressing like a traditional Anglo-Saxon. From what era? If I was going to,
And region.
yeah, if I was going to dress from any historical period. I wouldn't go any further back than like the 1800s. I really liked what they did with Firefly. Because it made all of it made sense. If you know anything about the clothing we wore when we settled the United States and even Canada, it was all meant to be durable and sturdy and not quite armor, but it would protect you. That's why denim was a thing, because if you've worn any real denim, not like crappy Levi's, even Levi's aren't bad, but compared to a lot of other fabrics, you can go traipsing through some briars and things like that, and not be too much the worse for doing so.
Well, to be fair, most people aren't buying the heavy denim. Like I got some Wrangler jeans, and I got from the heaviest denim possible, and that's
Right.
a big difference versus what people actually normally wear in the city. So it's not that you can't find it; it's just that most people don't buy it. And the other part is, after talking about that, if you're talking Anglo-Saxon, you're probably not even going back 1,500 years for a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I would have to. I'd have to see the footwear to see what you're talking about, whether it would be practical or not. I'm assuming that a lot of it would be warm and practical for where you live, especially homesteading and whatnot. I can just picture some people, some like 20-year-olds coming across your property, and you're standing there with an axe and full garb, and they're like, "Oh my God, we just went back in time," and then no one ever sees them again.
well, if you look at certain things, I saw them do this years ago where they're testing modern cold weather equipment and the stuff the Vikings wore, and they then tested the temperature, and they found out that the Vikings were as warm, if not warmer, than the modern materials. So
It's not really that surprising, a lot of. I mean, think about it. A lot of the clothes we wear today is, uh, the shabbiest clothes that have ever been worn.
yeah, but
Yeah.
we're talking about work equipment. We're not talking about
Right.
talking
No,
about people that would
even
be like
day-to-day
fishing.
stuff.
Yeah, like modern
Yeah.
fishing equipment versus what the Vikings wore. The Vikings were found to be as warm, if not warmer.
Mhm.
But then the other part is
One thing I noticed.
Go ahead.
Oh, it's one thing I noticed with going like cold weather hiking and cold weather camping was that there was always there was always like a synthetic option and a natural option, usually like wool or silk.
Mhm.
And it was the only reason you might go with the synthetic is it was cheaper.
Yep.
But they performed as good, pretty much.
And sometimes for weight.
Weight as well.
Mm-hmm.
Alcohol also was a great assistance in the keeping the body warm, I believe.
Yeah, no, it does the opposite actually. It makes you feel warm, but it actually gets your body temperature to lower.
Are you a Viking from the ancient day? I'm just kidding.
It's one of those things that when they look at it, say, yeah, well, it makes me feel warm. I'm like, so does hypothermia.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that that it will keep you warm.
We have 15 months of summer in Louisiana, so a year. So we don't really know about hypothermia. We actually got some cold weather now, surprisingly enough.
You say
15 months, you say?
One thing
15 months
I'd
out
like
of
to
the
try
year.
is ice fishing.
No, you don't.
See, I never did ice fishing, but I knew plenty of guys who did up in Wisconsin.
Why wouldn't you want to try ice fishing?
You're basically sitting around a hole in the ice where
Mhm.
your nuts freeze
No,
because you have to be so close to the ice.
Oh,
You
the
gotta
number of
sit
guys
there,
actually.
not moving for like 10, 15 hours.
Most guys I
Doesn't
knew
sound like
loved
a
it,
good time.
and they would actually have like a heater and everything else out on the ice.
Sure.
Does that sound like a good idea? And then they put the little ice hut out there.
You got
Yeah.
to put the hut out there because if you don't put the hut out there, you'll
You die.
die from
Yeah.
hypothermia.
Oh yeah, I know, but I'm saying,
Yeah.
I mean, right off the bat, you got to really like fish, which
Yeah.
I don't. So,
And the
It
cold.
sounds hard.
and yeah. I mean,
Like,
we're right
I
off the
don't
bat.
care.
The end result is getting fish. Well, I
I,
don't
I
care
live
about-
in Canada. Everything we have is built out of snow, and it's still too fucking cold to do that.
Well, you could be in Louisiana where it's always too hot. So
It's not that hot. Well, which part of Louisiana? It's like northern or
I live
southern?
in Lake Charles, or north of Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Yeah, that's not that hot compared to someplace like Miami.
Yeah, we're about the same biome here. You know, it sucks. I'm
Well,
going to move to Kentucky eventually, or somewhere in the Appalachians, but where I can
well,
get
see,
some
so
winter.
you're what, climate zone 9? And I think Miami's like 10 or 11.
We're climate zones suck, whatever we are. So
Hey, I grew up all over around the Gulf Coast. I know.
where'd you grow up at?
Well, let's see, Mobile, near Destin. For some of those areas, I did plenty of work over in Houston. So Lake Charles is not any different than another place with alligators.
You
What's
know,
up, Xnar?
it's all hot. We
Yeah, I
had
know.
summers till middle, like well, shit, till just a few weeks ago. We still had summertime. I mean, it was like sucking still.
Yeah.
Finally, we got some cold weather. Finally,
I look at it this way: as long as it's below 90, that to me is cool.
Yeah, same here. Same here, Owen. Xnard, I have some wool military gear. That you're not wrong. I highly recommend getting it, even if all you can get are wool blankets. Same for you, Raven. You should look into that.
Steal them from the hospital.
Well, and
Yeah.
wool is one of those few materials that if it gets wet, will still remain. Will still.
That's what Prime was saying is, and I've been there. I've seen it in action. I don't know exactly how to explain what it does, but it does. And yeah, there's a place. What's it called? Great Outdoorsman, I think. That's where I buy a lot of my camping and survival gear. But there are places out there where you can get a lot of that stuff really cheap, especially in the military surplus department.
Yeah. Do your research before you buy anything, because buying cheap can come with a risk. Well, buying anything these days.
Right, but I mean, if you're just buying wool
High
blankets,
price is not a guarantee of quality.
if you're just buying wool blankets, and they're
Yeah.
they tell you the dimensions and they make sure to say they don't have the pox on them. You should be fine.
Nah, you want at least 2-3 pox blankets for your enemies.
Yeah.
Just make sure you don't take them out of the wrapper until you give.
Nice off grid. Yeah, we have
Yeah.
a couple on PCH I used to go to, and another one more inland from the coast. And then of course anytime we went to the gun shows, which God I miss the gun shows. So much cool stuff that you'll never find anywhere else. And I used to have like almost an entire World War II GI uniform as as when I was younger than Jackie. We would go out and play Army Men and stuff like that, and throw rocks at each other as grenades and use BB rifles and stuff like that. Uh,
The Russians used to make this thing they called a Pellegrina. It was for their navy, their Arctic navy. And
what is it known as?
if you want to stay warm in the cold weather, buy one of these motherfucking things. You'll look like you just walked off of one of
Nice off grid.
Shadow's BDSM sets, but you will be fucking warm.
Well, a lot of it is my father was kicking himself because he had one of those old, which he was issued. It was in the military where he actually had the rabbit fur, and he gave it away. And then he got another one, and then it was all synthetic from that point forward. Like, really, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, we can't do that and kill these poor rabbits. I'm like, rabbits are pests.
Thanks, Prime. I suppose we should get to the actual topic once George gets in or what have you. I'm not sure what's going on with his tech. Maybe that's him there. Dun, dun, dun. That's him there. Okay. So, did anybody do their homework besides me and I think Justin
For what?
for the
Yeah.
topic tonight? I don't know if you were here last week. I don't remember. Sorry.
No, you said just show up, and I was like, oh, okay. You said we're going to do
Yeah,
stuff.
basically, I wanted everybody to like make up a robot company that would exist in our traveler campaign, and what they specialized, and give us a couple of examples of some of the, things the company is known for, as well as maybe, describe or show off some of their products. I made some images with AI to show some of the things they're famous for. And we lost George again.
What? Use AI? Oh my god!
Yeah, we don't have a problem with AI around here, bro.
What? No,
Yeah.
actually, my rule book uses my Back to the Dungeon role playing game rule book uses AI, and I've been attacked already. So I'm
Yeah.
sorry. And I was like, name examples of where the art was been stolen specifically, and they can't do it.
Well,
So-
here's what it comes down to: is the ones that aren't very good. Yeah, it's taking stuff away, but I'm not against AI art one way or the other. It's just like, okay, fine. It depends on whether it's throwaway or not. Everyone complained about Photoshop decades ago. Like, well, what? Something
It's really simple.
charcoal. Yeah.
If someone's got a problem with you using AI, I would say, okay, so you want to bankroll my project and pay for the art department? Okay.
Yeah. Shout out, you're frozen, but it's not an uncompromising image this time.
Oh
yeah,
man.
they all like backed out when I said, well, you want to give me some free art and I'll give you exposure. But like,
Oh, yeah.
here's my hypocrisy of the whole thing. It's like no one said a damn thing about clip art or like clip art is free.
They complained about clip art for a while.
Oh yeah.
As well.
Yeah. It's all been complained about. Let's go back to robots and stop worrying about all.
Yeah, robots are better. Yeah, robots are better.
Okay.
This is the mask. This is the mask I was talking about, and you will boil alive wearing this thing. In the middle of the coldest winter I was ever in, I put this thing on and had to take it off after 2 minutes.
Awesome.
And I was warm for the next 3 hours. Yeah.
All right. Robots.
Shadow left us.
Oh no.
Oh, now he's the power button.
Yeah.
Center square. Charles Nelson Riley.
Charles Nelson Riley, he's our man. He can heal the sick with a touch of his hand. He can. Never mind. Just going to dead milkmen again here. Sorry about that. No, but robot companies. I've got one right now. We have this company. They send in basically synthoids or synthetics. They're a little bit above androids. They're actually alive, but they have a biomechanical brain, and they're here to assist your company in administration and such. They by far are the best administrators you could possibly get. Unfortunately, workers really dislike them because they are micromanaging pieces of shit, synthoids.
HR bot.
Yep.
HR bot. Yes, they are very good about that.
You will buy ice cream at the Pride ice cream truck, or else
Get your taxes done at H&R Bot.
Yeah, well, they don't actually talk very robotic. They actually have a condescending, slightly British accent.
Like 3PO.
Or effeminate type accent. You know, they're like, so you did not, I see that you did not, you left the bathroom and we noticed you did not wash your hands.
Same difference.
How would you
Effeminate and British
notice
accent.
How would you notice that? Well, we have sensors and cameras sitting around, you know. You did not acknowledge the pronouns of Cynthia Borula, the alien, but that alien race doesn't have a sex. Like, shut up. So these synthoids go around. They basically have not yet, but their secret plan is the guy like wants them to like slowly take over everything. Now they are biological creatures, but they're, like I said, they have a biomechanical brain, so they can actually multiply, but they're a step above an android.
Cool. I want to see some stats on that later. This is the company I created literally last week, mostly last night. I had already had the name down, Teradyne Robotics Inc. Teradyne was founded and created by Edgar C. Morgenstern in the early 2100s and was instrumental in the early Earth Alliance and military expansion protocols throughout the 2100s and up until the current era, specializing in every conceivable field where robotics could replace the need for humans to occupy hazardous positions. And in every theater of battle for the last 400 years, Teradyne quickly rose to the top of the Fortune 500 and has occupied a spot within the top 10 for the last 300 years. And here you got one of the CEOs or somebody with one of their personal bodyguard assistant robots, big old cat, panther, whatever. I suppose you could have it in any animal form. Here's some of their military hardware there, and then one of their warbots or
Cool.
And I don't know what this is. This is weird. It says Mex Flalock at the bottom. I didn't ask for that. I don't know what the hell that means, what that is. It just appeared there. If you see that in the bottom right-hand corner, I don't know what the hell that is. And then the X1147 during its test flight to Alpha Centauri, circa 2499. And then the
I can tell you what that is.
What?
That's why the bad artists can get away with saying you're stealing art, is because when these programs go into a certain style that's familiar to an artist, they accidentally try putting that artist's signature.
Okay.
And that's probably what that is.
Okay,
Like
well, I could easily edit that shit right out.
Yeah, edit that out.
Yeah, well, it's and those two ships are actually controlled by robotic brains, sort of a top secret technology trying to bypass the need for the warp or jump gates. Oh, I should stop sharing. But that's what I came up with, and we can just hit the stop sharing button. I don't have to do all that fancy stuff. And I have like dozens of other images that I will save for the campaign when we play. But that's kind of the look and the style for that particular company.
Cool.
I'll get back to the stuff you're talking about in a minute because I'm very interested in anything that keeps you warm. Personally, I don't have a problem with stripping down to my skivvies if it gets too hot. Once you're down to your boxers, really ain't, taking those off ain't going to do anything other than get your ass sunburned. The old line, everybody's like, well, you'd only take so much off. Yeah, I'm willing to go pretty much down to that if it starts getting to be 120 degrees every day forever. I think everybody else would too. You'd end up everybody dressing like John Carter, and who doesn't want that, right?
Or you dress like the Bedouins, which protect themselves from the sun, because that's actually hotter than everything else. What gets me about the whole thing is, guess what? I'm not in freezing temperatures where I have to keep taking clothes on and off every 5 minutes because I'm hot and cold, so I don't get hypothermia from sweating too much.
Because you're not an 80-year-old woman, right?
Yeah.
You could also wear the robes like they do in the desert, where they.
I think that's what he meant by the Bedouins.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm from Louisiana. We're number 67 in the nation in education. We don't know about stuff, so.
But off grid. Send me any info you got on warm weather clothing because I've got like all kinds of different stuff, and other than starting to sew Mylar space blankets into my clothing, I don't know what's left. And I know those things will make you like Justin's mask sweat your face off.
It's called cotton, off grid. It's called cotton. You'll get colder in cotton than you would not wearing cotton. No, and then all you have to do is take it off and wring it out, and that's how you can reuse the moisture.
Yeah, what was that movie? There was like a submarine movie, like a World War II movie in a German submarine, and
Das Boot?
I don't know, but one of the survivors of a submarine wreck or whatever, he was literally like saving his sweat in a bottle to drink. You guys know what I'm talking about?
No,
No.
that part's not familiar.
It's one of those things that always stuck with me, because I live in the desert and I've heard and seen stories of people trying to drink their own urine, and I'm like, gross, and pee-pee breath. When they rescue you, they're like, oh, dude, toothbrush, here, have a mint.
What's the matter?
You know
Yeah,
what
and
though is they give you the filters, and that's one of the things that the special forces had to use was actually to have them drink their own urine through the filter, and that so to show that they could survive off that way.
It's called Plan URN8. Anyway,
Yeah.
so California guy here, Mr. Shadow. Have you been to Slab City? Have you went over there before?
Where is that? I don't know
Around the Salton Sea.
Oh no.
The last free, lawless place in the world that's where there's a bunch of artists and creatives, and this also can be dangerous, but it sounds pretty cool. I'm gonna go there one day.
I'm frozen again. I'm not even. My camera's not even on right now. That's weird.
But hey,
Maybe-
Shadow, one thing with your panther leopard droid thing,
Sure.
maybe have it where it can also, like, not to steal from the Transformers or GoBots or whatever, but maybe it can like change into like a ball-headed, shiny humanoid shape.
like Voltron.
Yeah, maybe
I
that
was
what
also thinking of maybe it transforming into like a Segway or something.
that too, okay. Like a bike.
Something like that. To get around the giant office buildings of the future, or from one building to another, or something, or that kind of thing. I've actually seen Segways, and we used to have a UPS driver who had one of those Razor scooters, and he'd pull that out of the back of the truck and use it to, he'd park the truck, and then he'd use the scooter to run back and forth to the truck to get packages to the different buildings in our area, or the different offices and things like that, because it would save him a crap ton of time.
Work smarter, not harder, as we say in construction.
Right.
It's what you got to do when you're doing construction. Work smarter, son. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so my plan was, how like every company is putting AI into everything for no reason whatsoever these days.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Extreme
AI
efficiency,
toothbrush.
That's why.
yeah, like AI toothbrush, AI toilet paper, AI fucking wallpaper, everything, right? I figure in the next 100 or so years, the same thing will happen with robotics, like Android robotics. So my company is like KitchenAid. It's just the company KitchenAid.
Okay.
But like all their stand mixers have robot arms and self-fill everything. And they walk around. Your spatula is like self-spatulizing.
It's like Beauty and the Beast, where all like the cups and stuff are just running around.
Okay, I like it. Because
just
there
unnecessarily.
literally would be a market for that.
It's like,
You think about
I
it.
just want to measure some flour. It's like, how can I help you measure flour?
They
like
all
the
break out.
toaster from Red Dwarf.
Let me drag the peg over here. It can't because it's like the size of.
I mean, I'm going to ask a question.
Shrink
If people are so worried about AI, what's the difference between it and a bread making machine?
A lot, but yeah.
I
Well-
mean, honestly, it's
Thanks, Derek. I am
put
here.
the
I'm just
stuff
going
in, and it makes there's no difference there.
Well, think about this. Another company that instead of they have AI and such, but instead of like having large ships or large colonies, everything is as small as it could be because they don't have to worry about space. You have a ship where people are basically somewhat cryogenically asleep, but at the same time, they have, like, just say, a 1,000,000-room ship, and they also have an entire planets to explore because it's all in VR. They don't have to worry about large crews and such because the VR has AI persons within there to keep everyone entertained. There could be planets like that as well. The planet is extremely inhospitable, so they basically put the people in an AI like pod that exercises their arms and their bodies and gives them nutrition. But
from the bugs.
yeah,
Thanks,
from the
Numenera.
bugs. But basically the
Numenera.
the world that they live in would be completely artificial intelligence. You could actually come up with a bunch of side quests and side adventures because if you went to that planet, they would pretty much say hook up and be in our world. You could actually.
Well, that's cool. Yeah.
Well, that's
You
actually
know
one of
what? I'm really glad you showed up tonight because you also gave me a great idea with something you just said there with
I also saw
micronizing.
this.
Micronizing. Think about it. He's got a great idea. The company that specializes in making not only miniaturized whatevers, right? But the
It's
ultimate
one
in
of the
lightweight technology, where that whatever polymers or whatever they're using to make like a shovel,
it's one of the 3 tiers of technological development. Is
right,
making
right. I've got
things
it on my
smaller.
fridge.
Yeah.
Lightweight, cheap, and durable, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Something like that.
And it's always pick two. That's all you're going to get.
Well,
I mean,
eventually, like
unless
at any point of revolution, there's 1 or 2. It's never all 3. But there's very rarely any revolutionary technology. It's just an innovation in one of those 3 fields.
right. And
I think there's a
thanks for
4th
stopping
one,
by,
but
Derek. Long time no see. So I'm going to make a company out there. I'm not sure what it's going to be called or whatever, but they're gonna focus on making things either lighter or more compact. Uh, where maybe it'll fold down and take up as little space as possible, kind of like in those really small homes. The where everything. Sorry, guys, where everything folds up,
a mobile
packs
home.
away, or you can disassemble it really easy and store it easily until you actually need it, so it's not taking up space. As
Oh,
weight.
speaking of that, don't buy that house on Amazon. It's only 6 feet tall.
really.
Yeah,
I'm 5'7", so
yeah. You won't be able to walk. You'll bang your head against the ceiling.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants those burgers either off grid.
You know what? Is if you actually look at it, a lot of people eat the bugs. The problem that I have with it is, they don't taste good.
you're not chitting me, are you? Or chiting me?
Nice. I was just going to bring that up.
But the thing is,
wait,
it's toxic.
hold it.
Exactly.
You have crawfish down there. I know because I
Yes.
love crawfish.
And they're
So
a crustacean, not a bug. They're a crustacean.
they're not that different.
Yes, they are. Trust me. You don't eat the shell unless you
Awesome
like know what
pods.
you're doing. I've actually
If
had
you
some
do,
people
yes.
from up north eat the shell. It's really good, and they were like, "Oh, this is not so the claw." Had a guy
Well,
bleed
that's
his
what
mouth
lobster
up.
bisque is you break down the shell for that. But no, I laugh at it because I almost had the spiders over in Cambodia, But you got to have the good stuff, not these damn crickets.
I tell you what's good is the really large dragonflies have this meat in their part of their wings, and that is the most incredible meat you ever had. It's better than crab, but you have to have a lot of dragonflies though. So
I was going to say, I mean, you've got like what, 50-pound bag to get like a quarter-pound burger.
the dragonflies out here are pretty big when you get to certain type.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they get big, but it's still it's
Not that much meat.
Yeah.
no.
Off grid. You're making me angry, man. I wish I could eat a dozen eggs a day. That would be like $40 a day for me.
What?
Get
I
Well,
can't.
why
Yeah.
don't you
Chicken.
take them chickens out? You can
Raise
do
No.
that.
It's
chickens,
insane.
man.
I can't. I can't.
The state.
What do you mean you can't?
They're doing it to Colorado too. They've made the rule where like you can only have cage-free eggs. It's just started in January.
That's not the problem in California. There was a big flu that killed a large section of the.
Yeah, we can't. It's just,
Okay, that's not that the whole in the flu that kills the chickens. Okay, the chickens came positive for the flu and they were made to be killed. When we had chickens as a child, we had
No, they were dying from it, so they killed off. Like it was.
Yeah.
It
yeah,
was
but
a
what
lethal
you do is you
flu.
let the chickens get better because what you do is you give them medicine. The ones that die will die, but the rest of them are immune for the rest of the time. And then you have an entire group of chickens that are immune to the flu from now on, and plus the
So-
eggs actually pass an
Well,
immunity. I would
So
assume.
the problem with it is what I'm trying to tell them is go get some chickens to raise in your backyard.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
It's
free.
not
It's
that
nice.
hard,
Yeah, it's free because the cost of feed. Once you do the cage is really cheap if you know how to be cheap, but the feed costs nowhere near the price of eggs. So, like right now I probably have like 8 or 9 dozen eggs, and I'm giving them away to people they're poor because I like to help poor people because I'm poor now because I'm unemployed. But I the thing is about the yard eggs taste better, but they are basically free. Here's the other thing about chickens a lot of people don't realize. I mean, they're mostly insectivores, but they're also omnivores for the other part of their diet. You can feed them literally all your scraps. So anything that you would throw away into the trash that's food,
yeah.
chickens flip out. They love that kind of stuff. And
My
plus
dog,
they love
my
it.
dog would be very upset about over that.
you
He
got
gets
that fruit tree. You got that fruit tree in the backyard.
several.
Yeah,
So-
you can
so-
just like
so, yeah.
the excess fruit from that, you can just pour into a trough and let them eat it.
Well,
Yeah.
see, here's the thing: chickens will tear up your backyard. That's what's going to happen.
Mhm.
They will.
Mhm.
Well,
Because
you can
that
fence
much
off a section of
space.
it for them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and my
I mean,
backyard's not
That's
big
the
enough for that.
only real issue about it. But other than that, they're fine. I
Well,
don't understand why everyone knocks.
Well, one
Few
thing about
chickens are
chickens is they only lay for about 2 to 4 years, or they lay later in their life, but they barely any like to rely on. But like the first 2 years, they're laying like a egg every other day at least.
you know, an egg every day. You get an egg every day.
That's
So-
That's
when
if, that's if
with
you have
laying
like
pellets. With laying pellets.
So,
And
Yeah.
the Rhode
you know,
Island Reds are the British British tan chickens that look like Rhode Island Reds but lighter.
So a lot of them.
Yeah.
Well, it's about you
The-
usually get about five eggs a week per chicken, and then they stop laying usually during the winter for a couple of months. But then the other part is the eggs get bigger in the second year.
Nice off grid.
So if you can get it, that's why I laugh when I see all them talk about, ooh, this is a large egg. I'm like, it's a tiny egg compared to like what you get it from like backyard chickens. The
but
Yeah.
eggs are normal sized eggs.
what you do when they're not laying eggs at a high quantity anymore is you have chicken for dinner that night.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't
No.
have my wife. We had chickens that like were 3 to 5 years past their laying. I just had pet chickens. That's what I had after they
Yep.
stopped laying.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I
you mean
offered-
you didn't have a big chicken dinner and then get some new chickens?
Well, they're
well,
not
we got
broilers.
They die of old age, But my chickens are gigantic though, because they get really fat because we
Yeah.
feed the hell out of them. And that's
And-
why if you have chickens, give them laying pellets, but also feed them extra feed so they get large. 'Cause
Yeah.
like our little short winter was we have in Louisiana. We make sure that they are really large.
I mean, Rhode
And
Island
Shadow-
Red's about 9 pounds. They're pretty big.
I found a picture of a dragonfly to show you how big they can get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get black oyster lorps. Those are good. They're like the biggest layers for like a backyard chicken.
Get Americanas because
Oh, it's right there, okay.
Americanas because they have different colored eggs that are easy to sell.
Oh yeah. We had one, and then she got killed by a hawk.
If you can't get fat eating this dragonfly, I don't know what the fuck.
Let's
The
start
eyes are
some
the special-
testes.
The
I don't
eyes
know.
are a specialty.
That was the Lex from the TV show Lex.
So, did anybody else come up with anything for tonight's actual topic other than robot chickens? which we
I
will
did.
talk about in just a
No,
minute.
no. I told you
I
what
did.
you do with a chicken last week.
Right.
You genetically engineer it into just being a breeding sack in a box. So you pour feed into it at one end, and it just chicken eggs pop out in the basket at the other end, and it's just a meat tube in the middle.
I forgot all about that.
I have an idea for a planet because this is what could happen to our world. Just say that we develop what you call full. Who's breathing, by the way? Full immersion VR, right? Where it's not just VR. In other words, you are actual in a virtual reality where you have a virtual body. You can feel and do everything. In other words, you don't have to worry about drugs anymore because you do virtual drugs. You don't have to worry about alcohol. You don't have to worry about sex. You do virtual sex. So basically, the entire planet and maybe a group of planets, everyone's basically in pods and they're living these virtual worlds.
So the
Because
Matrix.
not just the Matrix. It was like because it wouldn't be just made to harvest their energy. It was like literally that's what they converted to. And maybe by this point in time, the human bodies, because it would probably not take many years of evolution here. This would probably be just a few decades. Their bodies would be something, no arms and or all the arms and legs would have atrophied, so they would basically be like a larva.
Uh-huh.
And it'd be neat something to come upon a group of planets that like everyone is.
I like the idea.
It's creepy,
and I know it's been kind of done, but for a like a retirement moon, when you get to a certain age, you save up enough money and you can, pop yourself in, download yourself, whatever, into a machine of some sort that will then give you, the remainder of your years as, living it out in whatever
in
dream
your youth. Back in your youth, you're young and perfect again. You're
or your Conan or
whatever.
Superman or something like that. And the funny thing about that, the way the brain seems to work in some situations, especially like in a dream state, the scam would be that they download you and then you experience this like 20-year span, what you think is the rest of your life, but it's only like 20 minutes, and then they shove you in the furnace because they've fulfilled their contract. They gave you 20 years of experience, as your dream
a dark side. So that's awesome. Yeah, that'd be a cool story.
And there was that movie, I think it was called Coma, where they were
Coma.
remember that
old movie?
Yeah.
Where they were harvesting people for organs and stuff like that. When they went
that's
into
the dark side. They're harvesting them, and also they're maybe taking them what's left of their, because they're old, but taking what's left of their genetic material and making like a clone army for something. I mean, there could all be all kinds of dark
or just
shit.
Downloading your experience, your skills and your expertise, and they give you your 20-minute, retirement, and you experience the full 20 years in 20 minutes because it's, the technology or whatever. And then, they turn you off after they've downloaded everything and maybe sell that as entertainment or something because they your experiences, and they've downloaded that with like total recall technology to where they're not just implanting fake memories, they're pulling out your real memories and using that because they've got, like, for example, like they take Elon Musk and they, pick his brain and pull out all his, expertise or whatever, and now they can dissect it and go, okay, you want the skill package for, knowing computers better than anybody else. Okay, well, it's like PDFs,
Elon
they
Musk
cost
knowing
nothing.
computers.
What, you want to, put the chip in your head to get that skill at level 5. Well, it's going to cost you, 5 million credits, but it just costs them. They got a guy with a cassette, and they're just recording the cassette or the chip, and
There's literally an episode of the '80s Outer Limits or Twilight Zone, the
or
one from the '80s.
or Tales from the Dark Side or something maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Raid Bradbury Theater. Where it's a guy who's selling his memories at like a memory broker,
Mm-hmm.
and at the end he has no idea who he is, but he gets this address. He goes to steal a personality, so he ends up robbing the guy he's been selling his memories to. Yeah.
I
Four
was just thinking of Seinfeld, where Kramer gave a story to somebody, like a comedian, and then no, you can't tell that story now. It's not yours. Which I think actually happens. What's his name? Like Brett Kreischer sold one of his stories, like as if he sold a joke to like gosh, who's that blonde guy? Can't think of his name right now, but he was like in like I can't. Man, I'm drawing a blank. Jay Moore, thank you. Oh my gosh!
I just guessed. I totally just guessed, dude. Wow.
Sam Kinison. No.
Actually, I like it. He is one of the world's greatest impressionists. If you didn't know, in addition to all the other stuff he's done, that's weird, man. I just guessed.
Yeah. So he sold the story to Jay Moore, like about like his, and it's funny because it's like a story about Brett Kreischer hanging out with the black comedian from 40 Rock, Morgan, what is his name?
The names, but go ahead.
I know you're talking about. I just saw.
Yeah, from SNL.
I was never a fan of him. He always rubbed me the wrong way.
Eddie Murphy? Who are you talking about? Eddie Murphy?
No, Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan, thank you.
Yeah, he
No, you
always
didn't.
seemed like he always seemed like
didn't.
kind of like a scumbag. He might be the nicest guy in the world. I've never met him. I don't know, but he always just seemed kind of grungy, dirty.
No,
sleazy.
you didn't. I can't believe you disrespected me. None of my daddy disrespected me. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I never met the guy. This is just a cursory impression.
I find him funny as hell though, because he's just like
he probably is, and
he
it could
doesn't actually rehearse his lines. He just actually makes up half of what he says. Like they're like, Tracy, you had this line. He's like, he was funnier than what they made up though. If you've ever seen him, he's all improv. You know, he's all improv.
What's his name? Norm Macdonald was kind of that way too. He wouldn't rehearse because he just nailed it. That famous Twilight Zone sketch where what the hell was his name? Chris Kattan was freaking out because he didn't practice his lines, and you know when they did the read through, he would just do it all monotone, like awful on purpose. You know, and Chris Kattan was just freaking out. Is that how you're going to do it? You know, we're going live in 5 minutes. Blah 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 blah. And then Norm, walks out, does it, and spot on, perfect, floors everybody because he was one of the best.
Such is mango. Such is mango. So
you guys want to hear?
Look at the ocean and do you drink all the water? When you look at the sky, do you pull all the stars down? Such is mango. I'm sorry.
You were saying, George?
Oh, if you guys want to hear about my robot company.
Absolutely.
All right, so
great ideas for the game.
I posted some pictures. I don't know if you want to pull up the logo on your on the place where we link the or like PDFs for it. But it'll actually be a separate picture there.
Stuff. Crap. Hold on. It's in Discord.
So my idea was more of not necessarily a company that makes robots, it's a company that sells robots, just a little flavor for whatever Hive City will be in. And it's going to be, it's inspired by Crazy Eddies.
Okay,
so
where is it at in my Discord?
Crazy Eddies, for those that don't know, was an electronics store Ponzi scheme.
It's the same spot.
What channel is it on in my Discord?
In the Discord, I am not sure. It's the spot for the for basically kind of posting this stuff, like where I posted the pictures of my aliens and stuff like that. I don't remember the name of it.
I've been trying to get stupid AI to make that fucking chicken bucket thing. Yeah. We're getting feedback from you, George.
What's the name of the channel?
Someone.
I don't remember the name of it. Is this? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anytime
it was the one. It was the one.
Go ahead.
Let's see. It should be the one like where we post most of these things, like where we posted the our alien civilization and so, or our planet and all that stuff. Like where or like same place where Justin posted like his document for his Mars stuff. Should be in the same spot.
Yeah, but I don't remember what it was. Hold on, let me go look.
Let's see.
You see, you should be creating specific channels for this stuff and telling people to
I
put
thought I
things in
did.
those specific channels.
Because I've got sci-fi ideas, one-on-one, paranormal.
And when people put stuff in other channels, you should be immediately messaging them saying, "Take this down and put it in the right channel," or else, dun dun dun.
Because I've got
There is no actual or else, but
I've got 3 places in the Shadowchat channel: sci-fi idea, and then I've got the one for the creations channel.
mhm.
Is it Flavium Vesta, George?
The same spot, but it was if you go further down.
Oh,
I would have posted. There will be a picture, a yellow
okay,
yellow
there you go.
picture.
Oh, got it. Mad Morty's discount robot import. Oh god, that in one of my games. Okay, hold on. Let me come over here so I can share it. I had this. I had this. This like Death Star planet mega mall that would float around. We called it Arnie's Arsenal World. Back when I didn't hate Arnold, but the owner was named Arnie Lushbaum. Justin should love that one. And he instead of using Arnold Schwarzenegger as the model for the arms seller, I forget the actor's name, but whoever played Adrian's brother, remember that actor? He just looked like a just total wreck.
Oh, from
Rocky. Yeah,
from Rocky.
Yeah. We used that guy,
Yeah.
and I had an
Name was
artist
Joe.
actually. I had an artist draw him in a Hawaiian shirt with like a what was his name? The typical fisherman hat with all the lures and stuff in it. But he'd be wearing that hat and a really awful Hawaiian shirt, and he'd be the spokesperson for Arnie's Arsenal World, which reminds me exactly of what you got here. Let's go share. Mad Morty's Discount Robot Emporium. Oh my god, I love it.
So it's based on out east we had what's a chain of stores called Crazy Eddie's. It was a small chain, maybe about like 10 locations in the tri-state area. And they would have these crazy commercials where this guy was in your face talking a mile a minute and like just telling you like Crazy Eddie's, his prices are insane. And apparently then somewhere in the 80s you're like, oh, Crazy Eddie Antar, owner of the chain, has been arrested. No, he fled the country because he fled to Tel Aviv, I think.
Israel.
And you get AI to use Gilbert Gottfried's voice, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because then I was thinking who'd have kind of based the personality on, and just Gilbert Godfrey would probably
My
be
name is
the
Mad
best.
Morty.
Just
Mad
because of-
Morty. Discount Robot Emporium.
Exactly.
Emporium.
So one of the things that the schemes this guy had were like kind of basic, but like just hilarious. Like when you think about it. So he was basically, he just basically wasn't. He was marking everything as if he was losing money, and he was undercutting everybody. He was finding ways to get stuff cheaper than and sell it for cheaper than MSRP.
Yeah. Well,
and then he would
he was buying them from legitimate retailers. Like he
Space
would go.
Tumu.
He would go to like a parking lot in New Jersey and buy like 600 Walkmans from the back of a car.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
and then like he would insist on cash. Like he's like the king of why cash was like cheaper than credit because like half the till would go home with him.
Yeah. And so he would have to mark it as a loss, but so he would have empty boxes in his inventory. Like he would just put the empty boxes there. So when they're, and he would like he paid for his like nephew's accounting education and had him work at the company that does the audits for the like the government. And he would call in. He would call in like and tell them like warn them and stuff.
Well, he originally sent him so he could like have him find the loopholes in the auditing system, so he would know how to get around it. And then, like he had the most like. There's a reason why New York tried to bar Jews from getting fire insurance. Okay, and Crazy Eddie, typical reason.
Yeah, he was the one thing he would do. Then he tries to go public, and then now they got really like count his inventory, right? So he would have these boxes, and he'd like maybe have like 4 boxes, 5 boxes wide, 5 boxes high, 5 boxes deep, and kind of put it in the corner of the warehouse, and nothing behind, nothing in the boxes, and nothing behind them. But then say like 5 times 5 times 5. It's like 600 or whatever that is. 125, right? 5 times 5.
Yeah, but it would literally just be like the 50, the 90 boxes
in the front. So he would, and then not on top of that, they would go to the next warehouse and they'd quickly unload them and bring it to the next warehouse before the auditors come to check the next one. So he like turned like 45 TVs into boxes of empty boxes of TVs into thousands. And then also he would pass by like where the guy was writing the stuff down, and if he saw a 1, he might turn it into a 7 or a 4.
Got some spirited discussion going on in the chat. Some stuff I'm not going to bring up on the screen, but you guys can follow along.
Yeah. Well, you are bringing it up on the screen because it's on the sidebar, bro. You think this?
No. I meant down below.
You think this thing isn't seeable on the screen?
No, I know it is. I'm just not going to bring it to the other location.
I don't know why you bother doing that at all anymore.
I just in case I don't catch somebody's comment, at least it gets shown. I love that idea, George.
Yeah, just a little hive, it's a little store in the Hive City or something.
George, is get one of the AI programs that'll use somebody else's voice. Use Gilbert Godfrey. Write up the commercial.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
I want to see that. I want to see that commercial with trying to,
that would be funny.
There was another guy who did something like that. I want to say it was in the 80s or the 90s here in California, and it was electronics, stereos and VCRs and stuff like that. And it was a hell of a drive for us. One year, he was having this commercial about like VCRs or something, and my dad's like, all right, packed up me and my brother, and we went for like an hour and a half drive, to go to this place. And then it was just a freaking the most diviest of hole in the wall TV shops you've ever seen. And I'm pretty sure we walked away empty handed because they were all gone. But
imagine that.
Those sort of like cable access channel kind of productions, like the guy who does the mattresses. I forget his name. I remember when he was like nobody, and now his son's
again. And we had a furniture store here called Bad Boys, and their slogan was nobody.
It's like this: the mattress deals. If you don't use these mattresses, elephants will use them as maxi pads. So hurry up right now, and you get these mattresses, or they will be used like maxi pads for elephants, and you don't want that.
So you guys all know our former mayor. What's his name?
Ford.
Yeah, and his brother is provincial minister now.
No, I know that, but I'm amazed how George does.
Yeah, no, because he was in the news all over the place
Well,
for being a
yeah.
cokehead for a while there.
Oh, okay.
What's wrong with that?
My family's also from Toronto,
Oh,
so I
okay.
kind of.
So okay, you know who I'm talking about then with the Bad Boys guy, Mayor Mel Lastman.
That one I
No.
don't know.
Okay, so Mel owned a chain of furniture stores called Bad Boys, and he and his son would dress up in the commercials in striped prison suits, right? Uh, so they're horizontal, not vertical. Just because the typical, and they'd be like, "We're going to jail for such low prices. To go get us anytime. Nobody has lower prices than Bad Boys." Like all through the 90s, right? That this is like on every channel, and then he has to leave the commercials because he just becomes city mayor. It's like,
Oh
and then
gosh.
all kinds of weird fucking hijinks goes on.
Yeah, but what about what's the
Yeah.
problem with I'm not addicted to cocaine. I just like the way it smells myself.
I've heard that one.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Act like it's a bad thing. Yeah. No, actually, I've never done coke much.
Much lately.
What was
Never done coke.
In the '90s, it was around, and I haven't seen it since. So,
Yeah.
thank God, because shit.
I'm stealing that. I'm putting that on a shirt. I'm gonna do it right now while we're talking. I haven't done cocaine much lately.
nice.
Oh, one thing I didn't mention was Futurama did do a malfunctioning Eddie, but it was just a robot that would explode. He did seem to be in sales, but he would just explode when he would get excited.
He also sold technology. Yes, he was literally a parody of crazy.
Yeah, crazy Eddie. Malfunctioning Eddie.
What about a super?
Make a trade to. It's like there was the episode where Fry was sentenced to robot prison,
I remember that one.
and so he was sharing his room with malfunctioning Eddie. So it's like, and every time he'd say something, malfunctioning Eddie would just explode because.
Yeah. I never get over when Fry moved in with Bender. And it turns out Bender's only living in the security door area of the apartment. No. Bender had no idea the back wall was a door.
Oh yeah.
I think he called it his closet.
Yeah, something like that. It was like a 4-bedroom apartment with bay windows and shit. It was like,
What about a mega rich guy in the sci-fi world there named Milan Yusk? A mega rich guy.
He wants to import Galubians to do high-tech work.
Down. Shit, where's my index cards?
Yeah.
I went to 3 different places looking for an index card file box, They didn't have
you know what you should buy? Save you a ton of fucking paper and money. You know what you should buy? Because you're frozen again? You should buy a tablet.
I have one, but I actually have 3, and every one of them, the memory is just full. Just completely. I even put a new memory card in one of them. Hold on a second.
Trust me, if you had one just for notepads, you wouldn't be chewing up memory that fast because Word documents don't take a lot of space. And you can index them and shit.
George coming back?
No idea.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to head off since we have...
We're gonna wrap it up in a little bit, or we're gonna go on talking about anything but the topic, which seems to be standard operating procedure here. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I didn't do the recap. I will do the recap tonight, but I did create a bunch of images for the 3 locations that you guys can look at in Discord under either NPCs or resources. But as far as I know, we'll have everybody but Grim tomorrow, so it's going to be fun. Stay out of the fam for us, Omen, and I'll see you tomorrow. I
Yeah.
guess.
Sure. All right. See you then. Bye.
Party on.
See you, Omen.
What do you mean? You have Grim as in Grim from England to play with you?
Oh shit, no.
Grim Jim? Oh, okay.
Fuck no. I wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire.
Yeah, but he
Oh.
said the grooming gangs were actually not real. That's what he said the other day. But
Then you know they're real because everything that comes out of him is just horse shit.
well, there's more British, English, white males that do
George?
grooming than
George,
Yeah.
move your mic
Muslim-
again.
Muslim foreigners.
Oh,
So.
sorry.
I know a lot of people still like him, and one of my friends works with him, but he said too many things that I just can't. I can't stomach. And
Well, my deal is if the Muslims take over in the UK, he's a porn hangs out with porn adjacent people. They're going to murder his ass. But I mean that's
Yes,
what will happen.
yes.
Well,
no, I meant Grim Desay or Desay. I have to ask him how to pronounce it, but
don't say.
a good friend of ours, a good friend of the channel, one of the original almost sponsors of the channel. He and Cal Vanoni.
Cal, cool guy, Cal.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Cal, are we doing the one-on-one this Monday? Because I'm totally ready for it if you are. Because everybody knows Cal, but he's never been interviewed or had something like that I usually do with everybody that I'm good
He
friends
needs
with.
to come on this show. He needs to come on this show. This is one of the best shows ever. So
I appreciate that, man. He has been on this show a couple of times. I know he was on for one of our anniversary episodes, and I hang out with him in a game on every other Saturdays, and he's everywhere, man. I mean, I can't think of a stream that I've went and checked in on, and he didn't pop in. It's like
yeah,
he's freaking everywhere, and
but who
hopefully
is he? Who is he really? Who is he?
that's why I want to do a one-on-one with him. I'm going to do a one-on-one with, and I'm frozen again. Just about everybody on the screen here at some point. Justin will be last, of course, just because.
Yeah.
I'm not sharing my camera because I'm naked with a thong on. But
I could tell.
We do that.
You sound
I know
like
you could.
freaking Borat already.
Yeah,
Borat is based on my life. Okay.
But yeah, I don't doubt that. You Tel Aviv weirdo. Stealing
Hey,
everyone's walk-ins, then running.
Why
running
be
Tel Aviv.
normal? Hell with that. Hey, Shadow, when
Hey,
is
what?
this traveler game going to happen? Because
I'm not sure. Because we've been on this show. We've been slowly fleshing out the details. It's going to be the Earth solar system and a few other stars maybe, but for the most part, it's just Earth to Pluto, and we've been fleshing out the technology and the alien races and what's on all of the planets. The history of mankind's expansion all the way trying to get to Pluto and eventually to other stars. So it's going to be not like a low tech game. There will be some of the usual tropes of Traveler, but like ships that jump on their own is not yet a thing. You've got to use jump gates, and so like some technologies are going to be like more advanced, but the star travel is something we're artificially keeping to a certain point so that it takes a little longer for people to get to from planet to planet instead of a week and you're anywhere in the galaxy or anywhere within 2 parsecs, just to keep it pardon the pun or whatever, down to earth, but just a little bit more controlled instead of having to work on a whole freaking galaxy like you usually do with travel. You got to like either use somebody else's pre-created universe or you've got to do so much work to populate each and every little, hex in the star maps. That
There's a good app like online free that you could like make sectors.
oh no, I'm
Randomly.
aware of a couple of those,
Yeah,
but
we don't use it. It was made by Shawner.
uh,
Uh,
well, one of them I think was. But the problem with it is you can make it. You can use it to generate the universal planetary profile. With the water and the size and the atmosphere and all that. But then you've got to look at each one individually and learn them, or make shit up when the character's like, okay, we're going to go to that star. All right, what's there? Well, the profile says this, which will give you a really good outline of what the world's like. But that profile is way different once you land on the planet and realize it's inhabited by Telosians, or Ugonauts, or whatever, which would then change all those
Ugonauts.
bits of information based on the cultures of whoever actually lives there. Sure,
Well,
it's got a starport A, and it's 20,000 kilometers in diameter, and got a corrosive atmosphere, but what's it really like when you get there? You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of work, and this way we've limited to the 9 planets and the moons, and that's a lot to explore and uh, run around and play in, and everybody now kind of already knows a lot about the planets in that system because we've worked on it together, and as soon as the first session happens, everything they knew, while it may be true in part, they have no control over it, and they can't use insider information because their character's this lowly little guy, just out to do his thing, and he has no real connection with anybody or anything, and like Justin may know all about Mars because he helped create it, but his character doesn't. His character's got no ties to Mars and lands on Mars for some reason, and then
he's screwed.
yeah, because he
Yeah.
has a penis.
Yeah, but have you
get
seen
your
the
ass to Mars.
stars without number?
I
Because
might even
use some of those resources in that book. It can help you out. It's very
Stars without numbers.
well. That was part
very
of the experiment, was to see, because a lot of people were talking about it last year. Letting the players help develop the world. Well, we did that, and we're going to see how that works out in practice, not just theory. Okay, we've got a handful of players that helped create the universe, or excuse me, the solar system,
Yeah.
and see if it makes a difference in playing, because Justin and Omen and George and Raven and other folks had a part in building it. Do they feel different than they would if I just made all this crap up myself?
Well,
And I'm
yeah.
curious to see how you guys feel about it, and if I you know like make a mistake, then you guys can help me out. It's like, oh no, wait, remember, Venus is like this. Oh, okay, sorry. I can fix that.
Also, that this level of world building is not what those particular people meant by having the players help out. This
Was
is
it
a little,
less or more?
well, a lot. This is a lot more.
Oh, okay, okay,
They
cool.
would do like an hour and a half session at most.
Okay, and we've
But
milked it for like 6 months.
yeah, well,
it's been going on for a while. So I was just like, wait, when is this going to start? Because this sounds
Well,
it could be very interesting.
there's only a few more categories of information I think we really need. Uh,
we're also building like 500 years worth of history. Okay, bro.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
and that helps, because a lot of the resources for Traveler, they'll squeeze in thousands of years in like 10 pages of information, all on a timeline scale. This happened here, this happened here. But that's for a freaking, star spanning, 1,000 star empire,
No one
or
will ever
universe.
make it to those stars if you do 1,000 of them. It's a
Right.
waste of your
Whatever
time
it
and
is,
waste of
it's
your life.
huge.
Yeah.
Now,
And,
what
and
other
we're
role
just,
playing games are you trying? Are you pulling from? Or is there any other role playing games you can think of?
um, I've pulled a little bit of inspiration from Star Frontiers, because it is very sort of low tech. They don't have artificial gravity and
I'll be
things like
back in a few minutes.
But mostly, I think it'd be fair to say we're pulling from movies and TV shows, maybe books, as opposed to uh, uh, actual games, because there aren't a lot of sci-fi games that I really gravitated toward, because all of them uh, were, very well developed, in their lore and things like that. And I always like to, do all of that myself. There aren't too many IPs that I would really play in. I've never played Star Trek or Star Wars, and I probably never would, because it's somebody else's baby. I might play in it. Like if George Lucas said, "Hey, I'm running a Star Wars game. I want you to play." I'd be, yeah, I'll play in that. It's never going to happen, but you see my point.
Yeah, well, that's like I've done that with Star Wars, where like you don't want to play during the rebellion, because Luke Skywalker are the heroes and stuff.
Yeah, you want to play Knights of the Old Republic? That I could get into.
Well, I
Love me some
played
Knights-
right after the second Death Star was destroyed. I had a game like that, and it went really well. But all the other Star Wars games I've had were just, somebody else was the hero, kind of like the Wheel of Time role playing game, where all
or
their
playing Middle
modules.
Earth. I would never
Yeah.
play Middle Earth. And I've got
Yeah.
all the John Carter books. I'd never play that. I might play Mutant Chronicles because there are no heroes, and it's 40 years of lore, and there's still no like definitive like story. If you know what I mean.
Well, what
Whatever
about
you do,
Fatal or Thirsty Sword Lesbians? Would you add any of that?
no,
to your
no, I would
games?
not. I'm not playing anything by Evil Hat. Um, Owen got me to buy. What was it?
Not Fatal though. Not Fatal.
I
From
don't know. Owen got me to buy this one. 5 parsecs from home, but it's
Yeah.
really more of a war game, a tactical skirmish game, and it was kind of interesting. But the other thing about this game we're running, I don't know if you remember, Eldred, uh, all the players made up what we called interesting characters, and by interesting I meant degenerate losers, right?
Yeah.
They're the last people you'd want. They're like if you took a bunch of crazy like side NPC, bit characters from movies, like the whoever it was who was in Blade Runner when Harrison Ford talks to that Asian guy about the eyeballs. Okay, well,
Mhm.
someone's playing the guy with the eyeballs. The technician who worked on eyeballs. That's his character. Okay, and then
I made your eyes.
it's those kind of weird, like really interesting, but you can't picture them being the heroes, almost like mystery men.
Like us in real life.
Thank you. Right, right. As the uh, quote unquote heroes of the story, and I actually believe it or not, even though a lot of the characters are pretty degenerate and kind of sleazy or uh, unlucky or things like that. They're not the people you'd expect to go and save Earth from the giant asteroid. They're what's the word I'm looking for? The least expected heroes you can find.
Yeah.
And if you've got an idea for a character like that, someone who's interesting.
Very inspiring. It actually reminds me of a story that it's on some hard drive that I have to try to retrieve, but
Okay, when that happens, but yeah, everybody's Raven's character is a psychic who works with animals, but she's down on her luck and probably living paycheck to paycheck, and some sort of intrigue is going to enter their lives, and they're the only ones who can be trusted. And of course, there's like a G-man who's very much like Robert Culp's character from Greatest American Hero. he's got a bunch of demons, and one of them's in a bottle, and he's been tasked with solving this crime or this mystery, and unfortunately he's got to work with these guys and gals.
Oh
you know.
yeah.
So that uh, you know just to see, because every time I've ever been in a sci-fi game, it's like Justin likes to point out, it's like competency porn. Everybody's the best of the best of the best, sir. They're these heroes just waiting to be heroic, meant to be heroes, and we've got the exact opposite. You know,
Oh,
we've got
Yeah.
this sounds like a fantastic game. This sounds like, this sounds off the
Thank you.
hook badass. This is, yeah,
because
you might want to film this
Yeah,
one. You might want to,
we're going to do it live.
yeah.
And if it, even though Shauna would rip it a new one because that's what he did, I wish he was around to see it, because everybody in every Traveler game I've ever been in, their characters were handsome and strong and smart and high stats, and no, I don't want that. I want to see what the other half of the coin, or the other,
Wow.
how they're gonna be able to pull this off and save the solar system from whatever it is that's going on, and hopefully in the process they'll go from Earth and bop around on a couple of planets and get into trouble looking for clues or whatever it is that they're trying to stop or prevent or succeed at, but with the misfits, the misfit toys of Traveler, instead of that stereotypical wind blowing in, hair blowing in the wind, all uniformed up and all
Yeah, that's what I hate about modern gaming, man. You just hit a spot. See, like me from the 80s, since I started playing, the dice gods have always pretty much hated my ass. So I always had low stat characters. Like I've had a mini fighters that were strength of 12 or 9, or the bare minimum. But it was my belief that if you rolled it, you played it. I
Sure.
just did. We used to do 3d6 in order even, so
Well, that's one of the things I want to see, is if, because I have this weird idea that excuse me, if you've ever met any real spies, they don't look anything like James Bond. You know what I mean? They're the last guy you would expect. You know what I mean? Is actually,
yeah. I've watched documentaries. I know exactly what you're talking about.
and that sometimes having like not necessarily a low charisma, but let's say a low comeliness. You're less than average looking. Can actually get you in places that being a supermodel, or big hunky tough looking ex-marine, they see that guy and they're like, yeah, he's a Fed. They see him coming. You know what I mean? Perfect hair, all that. But then you've got people that are look like life scraped them up off the bottom of the barrel, and those are the guys.
I see you haven't met many people from the FBI. I'm in better shape than most of them.
No, I have. That's kind of my point. Is the stereotypical Hollywood versions of these characters. They always just look and a lot of YouTubers that are former agents or operators. They all look like they just walked off the set. And now they're going to do a YouTube video. And
I'll tell you, the most important piece of equipment you can have is a polo shirt. I keep telling you guys. You want to have the blue polo shirt, the red polo shirt, the green polo shirt.
and a clipboard.
And a clipboard.
What about Izod? Because I never got polos. I just got Izods.
Oh,
They look just like a polo.
Alligator.
They were way cheaper. What was the Walmart version of that? I got that.
I'm gonna say Izod was not cheap back in the day, dude.
Okay, what was the Walmart brand then? They looked just like a polo.
Was it like Hagar maybe or something like that?
I just know my buddy with a polo shirt, he had a string hanging out one day, and he goes, my polo shirt cost me like however many dollars. And I said, mine was like $10. And and I grabbed the string on his shirt, his polo, and I pulled it, and his sleeve started to fall off, and he wanted to fight me. It was funny. It was like 1986 that's happened. But
Yeah.
it's a wonderful time of life.
The point is all the corporate uniforms are solid color, fucking colored shirt sleeve shirts.
Thanks, Off Grid.
You look like you belong for like the cable company or the phone company or the, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see if these misfits can pull it off, and if there is something to be said about playing into your weaknesses and using your dump stats as
Yeah.
as an advantage. You know what I mean? You know,
I
uh,
already, you had us generate character concepts that we
mhm.
have to align for, unless you want us to redo that
Nope. I
when we
want
start.
everybody to use those characters because I
I'm
assume.
definitely not dumping all my stats into whatever comeliness is, because like, as a guy that's pushing 400 pounds and walks around in VR goggles all day, and has a bunch of tools specialized to the sex bot trade on his belt, I don't think people are going to be like, that guy's the one I want to smash. They're going to be like, I want to smash that guy.
Yeah, that's Varzek is Off Grid's third character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, here's the way it works in Traveler. You've got strength, dexterity, endurance,
Mm-hmm.
intelligence, education, and your social status. And I'm assuming everybody's going to have like a 5 or a 6 social. I think 9 and up you start.
3.
At 9 and up you start becoming royalty, and or getting stat bonuses. Like if you have a 9 dex, or it might even be 10. It's like you got to have a really high number to actually get a bonus. And so you got strength. Everybody knows what that is. Dex. Everybody knows what that is. Endurance. Same thing.
Pea soup.
Intelligence is how well you are at solving problems. Education is kind of like the highest level you graduated, and all these numbers can go up to 16. Uh, but it's a 2d6 system. And then Soch at like 9 or higher, you're like a knight or a duke or a baron or a marquis, all the way up to I think 16 is the emperor. Good luck getting that. Um,
I got a 16.
there is
I'm
no
the
emperor.
emperor.
Well, there
I'm
is
the
no
emperor.
emperor.
I'm the emperor of sex bot repair work. They put me in the commercials and shit.
Uh, Cal, I'm actually working on that setting right here. A game that I'm working on about a kind of a very Gattaca game, if you will, but where the players are either, I forget what they call them, perfect or imperfect, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll keep you posted on that. But for this one, we will roll dice, but I'll let you roll your 6 stats and then assign them. Unless you want to roll straight down, that's fine. But I figure everybody's going to want to try to keep their soch low, and use those what few high numbers they will probably get to put into education or intelligence, maybe even dexterity. Because even though you're a 400 pound sloth, doesn't mean you can't freaking you know hand coordinate, right? I've seen some people, at the range that you just figure, weekend shooter kind of thing, and then, you see their target and you're like, oh my god, nice grouping.
I
You
got
know,
one of those Baron Harkonnen harnesses.
I was thinking you're gonna bring that up. So Eldrad, give us a concept for your character, something that's interesting,
A
but not
pirate.
but not because their life's been kind to them, they've been super successful. Someone who's uh, still 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 hasn't given up, but life has given up on them.
Well,
Kind
he was a sucky ass pirate. Is
Yeah,
what
but
my guy was. I just did a character generator online and
Yeah.
seemed pretty damn cool. I don't know if I don't know if he's gonna be any
Well,
good or
I
not.
want to roll everybody up together so that we can, so that I can help people with choices and things like that. So they're not just playing uh, uh,
Stat ball.
a pre-gen. No, a pre-gen. We're
Yeah.
making you're making up the character that you want within the parameters. Because you've got to make certain roles and make certain choices because uh, you can start out at like 16, and I think it's 16 or 14, and become like an asteroid miner, or go into college or the academy and things like that, which most of you will not be able to do because it's really hard to get into some of those things. And
And some of our like before we decide the system backstories would preclude them. Like,
right,
I don't think George's character is going from being like the maintenance worker at the automated Popeyes chicken to asteroid miner overnight.
no. And we'll go through all that. But what I mean by a concept is also, who the character is, regardless of you know the how do I put it? If you were just going to describe them on paper without numbers, so you get like a really good idea of what they are. Like for example, Crafting Gamer's character is uh, uh, a robot. He works on robots, helps design them and stuff. But you never see his face in the company. He's one of those faceless workers that it does great work, maybe, but you never bring him into a board meeting. Because he's
yeah, my concept was like a fast food worker. Like, ever see those videos like where somebody's being crazy at a fast food place and things go down, and like the pancake house girl, where like she like just blocks that chair being thrown at her. This is kind of like the equivalent of that kind of that
right.
kind of
Maybe
person.
you overhear something or saw something, and that draws you in, and you're like, because I want all of these people to be like reluctant. They don't want to be involved with this thing. They saw something or heard something, and they just want to give their report to the G-man and be done with it. And he's like, well, no, I need you to help me identify this person or something like that. And they keep just getting pulled into this world of espionage or whatever, even though that's the last thing they want. They just want to go back to their VR porn and their 9 to 5 job and their whatever.
Whoa! Go back to? Who said I ever left my VR porn?
You know what I mean, though. Last thing you want to do is pack your bags and get on a starship bound for Io or something. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, scenario idea. You could have everybody in the party just be like anonymous people on the city bus. They just work in the same area and they take the same bus.
Mm-hmm.
And then like something causes them to like be abducted. Like the whole bus is taken by like I don't know, someone wanted to do some anal probing or whatever.
It always goes to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, or we're witnesses to something, throwing some garbage out back, and
What's
you
up,
see a
Mike?
murder.
So one of the things that Traveler does really well is that after you all have your characters together, there's like a skill package that you give the group, so that whatever kind of adventure the GM's planning, he'll hand out one of these packages so that it makes sure that everybody in the group has some way to contribute. You know what I mean, to what's going on. Like if it's an exploration, game, then there's a bunch of skills pertaining to that. So that even if you didn't roll them up, you get this free 1 or 2 skills that allow you to, be a useful member of the party. And I'm still working on some details. I've got you know, a kind of an idea of what's going on, and it's hard because normally a normal game would be very sandboxy and you guys do whatever. But I got to send you on a mission to kind of prove the point that this can work, this sort of thing. Because if it was different and you were just rolling up regular traveler characters, you would undoubtedly be able to game the system, don't you think? If you rolled up like a really competent, you know, ex operator of whatever, organization or branch of the military, you could be like, well, let's go over here and work this part of the stock market, then take our money there and go do this and go do that. And, within a year, you guys would be rich as hell, and own your own mega corporation. And I want to, which is where most traveler games try to go.
And I can finally get what was the company I said earlier? What was the food company?
I don't remember.
Neither do I. I can get them to start remaking Robo Spatula again. My Robo Spatula has been broken, and they haven't remade those in 80 years. I need a new one. Take over, or start making Robo Spatula again.
Freaking Lofgren is getting crazy tonight. I guess he had kind of a wilder side of upbringing that I'm used to from most Canadians. He sounds like more like an American. We got into.
You guys are pussies.
Yeah, there are a lot of them. There are a lot of them.
All of
Come
you.
down to Louisiana and spend the summer, son.
Yeah, pussies.
You'd like probably lose 100 pounds, but I mean,
Well,
from
it's
melting.
got nothing to do. I'll just be sitting there.
Just be saying.
You'll lose 100 pounds because you'll be served like fried frog or
You have to
something.
get up your ass and
Fried
do some
frog's
work
great.
around where we are, because you got to do some work. You can't just sit there.
Yeah.
Unless you're independently wealthy.
Well,
Yeah,
have you
your
seen how often
concept.
I eat pizza?
what was that, George?
Oh, like your concept, kind of not quite. It's not exactly like this, but I remember there was a show like in the late '80s. It was called "Come Spy with
really?
Me," where like they would like hire like regular people to do the spy work, like to do some sort of thing. I barely remember the episode. All I remember is that they hired like a minor league baseball player, and he ended up catching the ninja star that was coming at the guy with his catcher's mitt.
Okay. I'm not a big fan of Black Lodge games. I watched a couple of videos of them, and they just
Yeah.
not. They don't seem like people I would hang out with normally, and so I don't know anything about the shucked oyster. I've heard people talking about it, and I'm like, and it's just I don't I like doing a lot of the stuff myself, or in this case, getting help from my friends to do it. The kinds of books that I'm more interested in are world settings without the the railroaded story. Here's what you do to get the players to go along the railroad and do the story. I like just open worlds, and nobody does that. Or resources, like books of names or books of technological gadgets or books of aliens or monsters that I can then use for my own stuff. And occasionally a game system will catch my interest, like the one from Victor, the Scrying Dutchman, where it's a modern contemporary RPG with possible weirdness thrown in.
Hmm.
Yes, we're playing Traveler. Yeah, maybe if I got to beat them, but the way they seemed in the one video, it was just weird. The camera angle was kind of creepy, like practically looking up their shorts, and I'm like, guys, up here, up here.
Yeah, and
Their
they normally
their
do
feet.
that from what I remember.
Yeah,
They,
it's
they,
like,
they normally have it up here, but they've done like down here a few times as a joke. To
oh,
fuck
okay,
with
well
some
maybe
people.
that's what it was, and it's like if you're gonna do that, at least wear pants.
Well,
Uh,
that's probably why they weren't wearing pants.
could
They
be,
were
could
wearing
be.
shorts. But no, they used to be a little edgier, and I think they've gotten a little milk toast the
Uh,
last
maybe
6 months
it
or
wasn't
so.
that long ago that I saw their video, and they seemed a little condescending in a way.
That
Uh,
too.
I don't want to be talked down to.
I like some of their takes, like on the vampire game. They had some interesting takes on it.
You
Hmm.
got a link to this group? Because it's like I'm seeing BLG, but they're only playing like Grand Theft Auto.
Black Lodge games.
Black Lodge. I thought you had Black Life games. Okay. Black Life. Okay.
Yeah, like the Black Lodge from the show from the 80s, 90s.
Is
There
it
they are.
Twin Peaks?
Okay.
Yeah, Twin Peaks.
Yeah, that's one of the things
Okay,
they
I'm
talk about
subscribed
is
to this.
being like making your game more like Twin Peaks, kind of building up this like a community with all these NPCs that have like motivations.
Yes, yes, you should do that. Your 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 NPC should not be like those cardboard cutouts.
Yeah, and they also have relationships with other NPCs. So and something most like some DMs can do it, and some DMs maybe need help and can buy
Yeah.
a little, buy the shark oyster.
There was a great. I did a review on it. One of the, believe it or not, the Boot Hill modules. One of the first modules ever written, and one of the first modules I ever saw do that sort of thing. It literally had this whole town, and there was about like 150, maybe 200 NPCs, and it had all their different connections with one another, and all kinds of, like you were saying with the Twin Peaks sort of thing. Fleshed them out, left room for you to play around with them, but said, this one, like, maybe this one's fooling around with this guy's wife, and this person's hiding this secret, and all. I mean, it was just amazing, and they did it all in like 18 pages
Yeah.
with everything you'd need, and ways that the town could, go through hardships and changes and things like that. I think it was Burned Bush Wells was the name of the town and the module. Just freaking amazing.
Isn't
But
there a top secret module like that too in the
yeah,
original top secret?
Operation Pisces, the very first
Yeah.
module,
Yeah,
was like
it's
that.
yeah.
Uh, the old, excuse me, not the original Top Secret, but the second edition one. Oh my God, what a game! What a freaking masterpiece of a game! And it was one of the least popular games of all freaking time. Which is weird. I mean, back in the '80s,
Poo poo.
who didn't want to be James Bond, right?
Yeah.
Well, the original top secret was pretty badass, especially that martial arts system that was diceless. You
Yeah,
know,
it was basically like a rock, paper, scissors kind of thing.
holy shit, that was cool. I kicked some people's heads off and shit. It was badass.
If you like that, you'd love the SI version, which was the second edition, which literally had the best GM book I've ever read when it came to teaching people how to run a game, as in like the things you shouldn't do, the things you should do, uh, uh, and handling situations as opposed to, here's all the facts and the figures, things like that. Yeah, I'm telling
Crazy enough, I have a copy of that someone gave me. The box was all taped up, And I've never even really looked at it. You're not going to make. I'm going to have to go look at it now because of you. Thanks a lot. Okay.
Yeah, the administrator's guide or whatever it's called, not the player's book, which is good, but the book for the referees. And then there was another book that came out for second edition that Joe the lawyer just did a review on. Sounds like they took almost everything from the GM the top secret book and put it into a Dungeons and Dragons book. But it was all the things we talk about. But this was back in the early '80s, and because that game was so popular, at least in my neck of the woods, that it wouldn't matter what game you're playing. Every piece of advice in there is solid and worth reading at least once if you know can find the PDF or something like that. It just blew my mind that I was reading all this stuff that it took me decades to learn later.
Yeah.
Just so much helpful information, but it was never in like the other game books that I read over the years. I'd never read half of the stuff that was in there or heard about it. Uh, and I wish everybody would go out and read that book
I'm
and
gonna go.
use.
I got it in my barn right now. Another a book that gave a lot of good advice, and I'm probably gonna get some groans here. But Shauner's book, which I had spoke to him a little bit before he passed away, which was crazy.
Hmm.
I went and bought his book, the PDF, and it was actually a pretty damn good book.
You went and bought it. It was free.
Well, maybe I downloaded it. Maybe I thought I bought it. I have a bunch of money on Drive Through RPG. Do you got any books for sale? I'll buy some from you, man. Justin, you got any books?
Soon.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I'll buy some from you.
I will send you my I will send you my pen name. I do not write RPGs at the moment though. So
You and I are working on one. And Eldrad,
so
If it's on Drive Through RPG, I got a bunch of money to spend because I've sold a
Oh.
lot of games and I haven't bought
Okay.
anybody else's shit. So
yeah. Then why don't you
Eldred-
just transfer it to your account, your bank account?
because when I see a game I want to buy, I buy it.
Oh.
I've been over like 10 since 2016. I've had over 10,000 downloads. I've done pretty good, and much of that's been free because I just like to give the shit away for. Because I'm about the gaming, I'm not about the money.
Mhm.
I used to say I made money, but I'm unemployed right now because my boss is a dick, or my ex-boss. But
Wouldn't let you drink on the job.
now the company had a bunch of executives and managers that didn't have a job, so they laid off like 5 people of the safety department and put them in our place. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen when actual safety stuff needs to be done because these guys don't know what they're doing. So, it was a big nut shot. I can tell you that much. Right? The week before Thanksgiving. So I've been sitting around just being unemployed, building shit in the woods, going out to the woods and writing game shit. That's all I've been doing. Actually, not been doing enough of any of that. Mostly been just sitting around moping because that's what you do when you're unemployed. But
You should write your own system.
already did. It's called Back to the Dungeon.
No, like fully, like get it nice and detailed. And
It is detailed. It's like it's been
super
around
professional.
It's been around since like 2003 or 9 or 12, depending on because I had it like in my head, and then I actually wrote it down.
Well,
It's actually a crap. It's actually a crap system, but it's my house rules that I like. I took BX and OE and D20, and I simplified it all.
Clean it up, make a second edition, format it really tight, make it look
Hell no.
super
I don't want to.
professional looking.
I don't want to.
I'm not professional. Though. That's the thing. Is like fuck.
Well,
fuck
that's what I was saying.
and grammar and all that.
I'm saying fix all that shit. Do a second edition.
It works fine though. It works perfect the way it is.
Doesn't matter. I'm trying to help you fucking get some money.
I don't. I already
put it out
independently
for
wealthy, maybe
$25.
Maybe.
No, I like the hardcovers like $39.99 and the soft covers $19.99. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it for the love of the game. Because what it is, I took BX and I added some D20 and some OE. Because if you're gonna run it, it's like the simplest shit to run. Because why do monsters have full stats? Why? Why do they have full? Like that's stupid. You're gonna kill a goblin. You know, it needs armor class, hit dice, and movement, and then a few descriptions of what it can do. You know, doesn't need like the goblin has +10 basket weaving skill. Who gives a shit what the goblin? You're to kill it. You know, orcs and kobolds and most monsters don't need many stats. I made the game like thinking about this in the old days. Games were fast. And advanced D&D is about the maximum complexity you want to have. You know. But I even like the simpler than that. I like it simple. I like it fast. I like the game to go like when you're like writing a module. You know, you just like I got some orcs, I got some goblins. Here's the treasure. Bam, bam, bam. You know, just make it fast. And when you're playing, maybe the characters have a few little meaty parts to them, but other than that, let the game go fast. So it needs to be, you know, like in the old days. You know, back in the '80s, man. The game went fast, and that's how I like it. You know. All this, my character has this feat and this ability and this, you know, suddenly the game slows down to a crap slow movement. Screw the slowness.
I agree with you. This is how I feel when games are overly complex. Let me know when you got that up on the screen there, Shadow.
I got it up.
Got it up? Yeah.
Speaking of that, man, have you ever noticed some of the people that commit suicides that are mega rich, that literally have no problems that the rest of us have, and they're like, "I'm so depressed." You're like, "Fuck you, you're like a billionaire. How the fuck can you be depressed or bored? What's wrong with you?"
Seriously, who was it? Daniel Tosh said you cannot be pissed off or depressed on a Sea-Doo. You know those are jet ski.
Yeah.
You don't want to know, and you just grin from ear to ear.
I just want to say, last month there was a suicide by a pharmaceutical executive, an insurance executive, and I want everyone to start referring to it as a suicide because we all know it was a suicide, and that we need everyone to acknowledge it as a suicide and nothing but a suicide.
Well, I
don't. Did it have anything to do with the fake COVID vaccine or anything like that?
No. But there was a fake assassination video for his suicide.
Luigi. It's Mario.
Luigi.
Are you talking about that guy in New York?
Yeah.
He had someone kill him? Is that what you think?
No. I'm saying he killed himself, and that the video is fake, and that Luigi is being framed, and this is totally conspiracy theory. But I want everyone to just start referring to it as a suicide.
Well, the guy did complain that they don't have salt and pepper in the prison. That's all I can say. They don't have salt and pepper in the prison. He was very upset about that.
I heard, what's his name? P. Diddy is complaining that Luigi's getting better treatment than him.
We should.
Dude, let's talk about P. Diddy, man. Let's talk about this. We got all these, like a lot of these thug gangster types all was being, like, hosed by P. Diddy. I mean, oh, my God, dude. And let's talk about Justin Bieber. What a victim, man. He was a little kid, man. What the hell, you know?
Yeah,
pass like that poor little weirdo around.
Dude, that's sad, man. When you really think about, like, when you see the videos and PD's like, "You're not, yo, man, you're not hanging out with me." You know what I'm saying? You're not hanging out. You know, it's sad.
Because you're a freaking rapist.
You know, but like Justin Bieber, man, you know, because like recently, like the last few years, he's been doing weird shit like poetry, not poetry, but like doing charity and stuff, and giving his money away to poor people and all this. You know, like what's going on with this dude? Because like a few years ago, he was a little bitch ass who was like throwing eggs at the neighbors' houses and doing loud. Now he's like doing charity and being all humble.
I tell you, if I was super fucking rich, I'd be doing both those things too. The problem is I would be doing it at the same time because I believe in efficiency.
Yeah, you got a point. Yeah, that's how you, man. You know what? You just moved up in a bunch of levels of respect for me.
Yeah, right now, I'd be like,
what I'd be doing too.
I'd be like, okay, I got my camcorder out, and I get like a fucking actual camcorder. I would have my chauffeur pull me up into the poor neighborhood. I'd say, "Hey, homeless Bob, yeah, do you want me to be charitable to you and give you $50?" They'd be like, "I love $50. Okay, I need you to do something for me. There's this guy named Steve. I don't really like him that much. I want you to take these dozen eggs and throw them on his house while I film it. Then I'll give you $50. And if I sell this video on the internet, you'll get royalties from it, just like if you were a member of the Film Actors Guild."
You may be
So
on to
I
something.
would even gainfully employ him.
But I don't know if y'all knew this, but like about 10, 11 months ago, I won the Powerball in Louisiana.
For $50?
No, I won the Powerball in one number. I'm a $4
Well,
Quit being jealous. I got $4. So if y'all think y'all a big deal, I'm a $4
I've got to check my lotto tickets. I don't
Well, I almost won the Mega
the
Millions,
mall,
but I got all 6 numbers wrong. So I kind of didn't win.
Yeah. The ticket was up for $60 million. Yeah.
Did you hear about in Ohio? Somebody won like one of the lotteries. It was 138 million, right?
Yeah. Ours don't go that high here.
Yeah. It was 138 million, and the guy, whoever it was, the guy or girl, whoever the person was, did not know, or didn't hear, or didn't check their ticket, and they said, by the way, as of today, someone won 130 million, did not check their ticket, and it has now been canceled. It's been 90 days.
Whew. It's a year here for the tickets to void.
Now check it out. I had a friend.
Maybe that person had a heart attack and died.
Yeah, it could have been, but I had a friend that had Boardwalk on the McDonald's Monopoly. So she was a millionaire, right? This is back in 1990 something.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh my God, I got Boardwalk." She was telling everybody. In some point in time between that, and like other people saw the Boardwalk, so it's a true story. She lost the fucking Boardwalk ticket on the McDonald's Monopoly. She lost it.
Oh. It'd be so much funnier if she turned it in and couldn't pass the skill testing question. Right? Because they had that for a while. Or you'd had to answer a math question. It was like, what is 2 times 2?
Well, she maybe couldn't have done that because one of my friends was her roommate, actually. And, she I mean, you got to see it. Back in the day, this girl was gorgeous. And as later on, she got really fat. So she wasn't. But anyway, like he said, dude, I said, man, you was living with her? What happened, man? Did you get any? He's like, no, bro. He goes, here's my problem. He goes, I like actually left her with the apartment because it was in her name. Somehow I don't know how it got in her name. She had no credit. But he said, we had 2 bathrooms in the place. And he said, I went in there. I found a spoon. I found a bunch of needles and all kinds of shit. She was doing heroin and all kinds of other shit. And he said, I'm not into that. He said, so I left her right there where she was. Plus, she never dated him, so he was upset with that. So,
well, he kind of bullet, didn't he?
Well, the thing is, she always called him, and I thought he was gay too, but she always called him her gay friend. And he's like, I'm not gay. And he actually had game. He used to look like George Michael. Now he has no teeth and he's bald headed, but but like he used to be like a George Michael looking dude. He always would flick his hair. I was like, I remember when I met you back in the day, you'd flick your hair. You'd flick your hair. You flick it. You're like, man, stop saying that. I'm like, but you did. You flicked your hair. You thought you were like George Michael or something. But how the fuck can you go from a George Michael hairstyle to bald with no teeth? How can you do that? But
cocaine's a terrible drug, man.
And he just he just didn't brush his teeth. It's Louisiana, so
yeah,
too much Mountain Dew.
He said it was some antibiotics or some kind
that can do it too. That can do it
maybe,
too.
But I've had taken antibiotics. I just brushed my teeth. I mean, that's all I can say. So,
well, it depends on how they affect you and what one should take it. But yeah.
George, what are you doing, man? You seem relaxed as hell.
Yeah.
I'm ready to fall asleep.
Hey, it's okay. I'm gonna
too much noise.
I'm gonna call it in a minute here.
Yeah.
I got church first thing in the morning, which is
What church do you go to?
I don't know the name of it. I've only
Church
been.
Church of Scientology.
No, it's a Catholic church. It'll be my.
Yeah, you want me to tell you what church he goes to? They have a pew, but
Church of Buddhist Christ of Latter-day Islam. Those darn things have wings. No.
they have a pew there, but it's prefaced with the word "fuck."
No,
What?
no. I've only been 6 times. Is since my son's been going there, and he goes every week, every Sunday. Take care, Cal. We doing Monday night 6 p.m. our time. You can hit me up in.
Cal, get online.
It's in
Cal, come with us. I
Spanish.
want to talk to you, man. I've like talked to you throughout the years on stuff, and you've liked my stuff and things like that. Get online. But hey, let's talk about faith for half a second here. Like, it's crazy as I don't have faith. I have faith by, well, I would say I have faith by what I see the evil people doing towards Christianity that makes it kind of start to be more true. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Is that weird? Kind of see this.
For me, the big thing was when my son was born. That moment, I knew, looking around the world and how much I had to protect him, and I couldn't do it by myself, and how many bad guys and girls out there wanted to do terrible things to not my son, specifically, but kids in general, especially with my previous line of work. I just knew that there was no way I was going to do it, on my own. And
What was your previous line of work to say that?
private investigator.
Okay, shit.
Hey, what's up, Connell? You know
Uh,
what the link is if you want to come in. We're getting ready to wrap it up. But
He would be in the back room if he's messaging you down there, bro.
but the other side of faith is that you can see this large movement by various forces against Christianity. It's kind of crazy, Hey,
That was
Connell,
just-
how you doing?
Yeah.
I was just watching a video about that very subject. What's up, brother? How you doing?
I just came in to talk about androids, cyborgs, and where do you put the little pink thing into a hole? Yes.
Yes. I got a mixomatic robot for you that you can
Now,
put pigs in.
I know this is the
Me too,
Shadow
pal.
Sun,
Me too.
or should we
KitchenAid.
say
That was the company.
the Shadwell production company. So I was wondering what kind of cyborgs he used for the putting pink thing into hole.
Yeah, I'm already putting in overtime now that Connell's here.
Or is it more of a
Shadwell Robotics and Film Incorporated is the company I'm going to be creating.
or is it more of a docking thing? Yes. Is it a docking thing?
No.
Yes.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to bust in with all that, but
Yeah, it's okay. It's,
No.
You're my little brother.
Good.
You get away with some stuff, but that's about it.
what were you guys talking about before I became?
We were talking
Gold
about faith.
Star.
We were talking about faith for a minute.
Faith. Well, if that's the case, I should leave. I have no faith. As I go to church tomorrow.
You're right. Same here.
Well, today.
They're saying it's I got to be up at like 6:30 ish, and it's funny. I'm ready before everybody else, and I'm the new guy. You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah, I also have faith in those same other things as well. But every once in a while,
Actually, to be completely honest, I am a Catholic. I am a practicing Catholic. I'm so bad at it, I have to go twice a week. With that being said, I think I disagree with religion. I think religion is a problem, but I believe in faith. Faith is beauty, understanding, compassion. Religion is you give me $5 or you see the door. Yes.
that's true.
I don't know.
You have to pay to pray.
No, I could literally go in every. No one ever asked me specifically, and believe it or not, when I go to the mass that's in Spanish, it's fucking amazing. You can
Bueno is good. Muy,
You
muy
can just
bueno
you
is
can just
very
feel
good.
Hola,
it's weird.
señor. ¿Qué tal? ¿Te gusta comer perros muertos?
Normally, I go to the English mass, but when I go to the Spanish mass, the feel in the room is incredibly different. It's so much more happy, less serious, and uh, I mean it's still serious in where it's supposed to be, but just the overall mood. You can just see everybody there wants to be there, like more than anything else in the world. When I go on Sunday morning, everybody there is just like quiet and somber and depressed and sad. I'm like, what is with you, white motherfuckers? Seriously, you're supposed to be happy to be here.
It's because
That's why you
community
go.
has been destroyed for them, right?
That's
Like the
why
community has been destroyed for them.
if you want to go to happy churches, you go to a Black Southern Baptist church because those fuckers are happy and they feed
That's
you
true.
well.
Yes, but then there's a
That's-
shootout.
That's literally what I used to do when I went to church earlier in my life. I was a
And
Baptist.
that's how you got shot.
No, my mom shot me.
That
Well, it's
explains
crazy,
so much.
man. Like
I
working
didn't know she
with
was black. That
No,
explains
working-
so much.
No,
I work construction, so as a safety man, like I've had crews that were all Mexican and South American, Hispanic. They were very, very Roman Catholic, right? They were very Christian people, and they're also very macho. And
Sure.
like we had this one helper one time that said, "You're Latinx," and like they did actually kind of turn hostile. Like, bitch, I ain't no fucking punk. I'm not a Latinx. I'm a Latino. You know.
Mhm.
A Latinx is gay. Fuck you, you know. And they were like, it was crazy, man. The dude almost got his ass beat. He was some boss's like, was it one of the boss's secretary's sons? He was this little fruitcake. And I said, you need to move this guy off this crew before they fucking hurt him because these guys are really good, but they are also very macho. They're very, and also their women were like really beautiful and feminine. They were very, and you know the thing about Mexican crews? Those dudes cook good, man. Those guys, when they invite you to a meal, you go to it because, oh my God, real taqueria, real authentic Mexican food is off
Oh
the
yeah,
hook.
it is.
Jeez, man.
Well, it depends on the part of Mexico. I can tell you, most of the stuff my wife cooks, she until she met me, I'm pretty sure she never ate or cooked a burrito, a taco, or an enchilada. It was all main ingredient is water, add vegetables, and if you've got chicken, throw it in there too. Because
What?
I'm not even joking, dude.
Damn.
Is
It
she
was-
Irish?
No, they were poor.
Oh,
They're
no,
in
okay.
general.
I was just boiling the water. I'm like, that sounds like an Irish dish.
Yeah, but
Hey,
normally poor food's good, man. Poor food, soul food,
Oh.
or earth food is good. That's what
Not its
Louisiana
main
food
ingredient
is.
is water.
Where,
You know,
where was she from? Where was her background?
Almost as far south as you can go.
What's that? Like, where?
Yucatan.
How far south?
Fuck,
You're asking Shadow questions about the
Terra del
map.
Fuego.
Yeah, I don't know the name of the town.
Argentina?
No. It's definitely
South
Mexico.
Pole?
Still in Mexico.
Yeah, it's still in Mexico.
Okay.
It starts with
Antarctica.
a Y or an X or something. I don't know.
Oaxaca.
That's
No,
weird.
far
Mexicans
south.
cook good, man. Mexicans normally cook incredible.
I literally taught her how to make because okay, you guys have had enchiladas before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're covered in sauce, are they not?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like Mexican lasagna, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Nope. I asked her to make me some enchiladas, and they were tortillas wrapped, filled with stuff, a little bit of cheese, covered in lettuce, no sauce.
Hold on. She was a rich girl, wasn't she? She had people cook for her, right?
No, she was the youngest, therefore the baby, therefore as soon as she was
okay.
16, off to school.
I was
Okay.
about
Now,
ready to
now
say,
see.
most of the Mexican women I know more or less told me they were not allowed to leave their mother's house until they can fucking cook.
Santa Maria Zaidani. Is that town?
No. I'll
The only one in that area that starts with a fucking X or a Y.
I think.
Like they all have Santa Maria at the beginning, right? So.
Oh no, it definitely didn't have that.
Or La, or Santa Paula. Or,
I literally haven't had beef stroganoff since my 18th birthday.
Oh.
Well, learn to make it yourself, son.
Yeah,
I usually
beef stroganoff's great.
cook 90% of the meals here.
Yeah, but you told me you're still out cooking half the time, and it bothers me so.
Yeah, like
Well-
you have a Vitamix blender and the microwave and a plastic cutting board, and these are the only utensils you have in cooking.
That is not
tools.
true. I've got an air
Shut
fryer.
up! That's a lie. Not true.
Okay.
Somewhere I've got a deep
My-
fryer as well. But no.
Going
Uh,
to Hardee's is
These
My-
not
are just
deep
words
fryer.
he knows. He doesn't know
My
what they
fat
mean.
ass has lost like almost 40 pounds, and I'm going to tell you how I did it because I am now eating more food than I normally do. What you need to do is go Greek. Greek food, like for instance, a spinach salad with feta cheese and like
Fuck that.
oh,
2
you're
pounds
wrong.
of tzatziki a day.
You look at you, Justin. I'm sorry.
2 pounds of tzatziki.
You look
a day.
like I did about a year ago.
Two
Yeah.
pounds of tzatziki a day, and you can wrap it in a pita bread or not a flatbread and gyro
Or-
meat.
Nan bread. You know.
you guys,
No, listen.
you guys
Go
do
Greek.
Melanie Mac, Go Boom or whatever.
That was Greek food.
Yeah, go
You know who
Greek and
Melanie
you'll go
Mac
skinny.
is? She's
No.
a YouTuber.
Who is what's her name?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Melanie
She likes
Mac.
saying the F word.
Yeah.
Maybe she's all of maybe 24, super popular, super famous. I saw this little short of hers because I saw her. She's like skin and bones, and I'm like, okay. And she says, "This is what I eat every day." And she shows the video, and it's nothing but steaks and bacon and eggs. And I'm like, okay, I'm
Mhm.
going carnivore.
Now, when being probably the only professional chef in this conversation,
Hey, do you have a
Hey,
job?
I've cooked.
I got one. I was able to get one.
Okay, all right. I was going to
Yeah,
I'm
he-
I'm
he-
Cajun, so
he
I'm
don't
from
count
Louisiana.
Panini
We're all
press and took
professional
it down
chefs.
to the. He bought a panini press and took it down to the cigar shop.
From Louisiana. We're all professional chefs by birth, but okay.
Fair enough. I've worked in kitchens for the last few years now. The best way to lose, I'm not even talking about losing weight. And I've said this to Shadow.
Good, because no one's going to buy it.
I've said this to Shadow multiple times. Life is miserable enough. Your food should not have to be.
Right.
Steak
Granny.
is like
My food isn't
steak and
miserable.
eggs. It's not miserable.
I
If
gave
it
up.
comes out of a microwave, it's
I gave-
miserable.
I gave
This
up
is
the
true.
microwave burritos almost a year ago. My little brother.
Make
I
your
don't
own
believe you.
organic burritos. You could lose weight. But listen, my food that I eat right now, my favorite Greek salad is a spinach salad with feta cheese and balsamic vinaigrettes. And usually I put shrimp and all kinds of crispy shit on top. I usually use like farm fresh
I
brand.
can't eat anything you just said.
Okay.
Now my
Carl.
entire salad is over 2 pounds, right? It's maybe 200 calories. I am very full, and this salad tastes as good as a steak.
Okay.
Okay, what have
Carl.
you been smoking? Because I had a steak last week. And
Well,
it was,
I've ate a steak
cheese.
tonight. I ate a steak tonight. So, but listen, my salad is maybe 200 calories, and it's over 2 pounds. Because spinach is only like 20 or 30 pounds for like 20 or 30 calories for a gigantic amount.
That's true, Cal.
Yeah, it is like this. It's good if you make it taste good, but feta cheese is the steak of Greek. Okay, feta cheese and balsamic vinaigrettes.
yeah, I
Make
can't
it
do
good.
any of those
Tzatziki.
things.
What's wrong with you, Shadow? What's wrong with you?
I can't do any oils or vinegar.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Why not?
Just one, I don't like it, and two, like vegetable oils and vinegar and things like that just mess with my stomach big time.
Well, olive oils are what you need to take. Olives and avocado oils. Make your own then. Get away
So,
from the
so-
vegetable oils, which are
like
toxic.
I've been trying to say. Well, this guy's been going on about the same thing for 40 minutes. We all heard your damn salad. That sounds pretty good, but eating 2 pounds or 4 pounds of fucking spinach is not going to be like whatever. It's not the
Take care, George.
Connell. It's not the nuking of the steak and the eggs that really bothers me. It's
Mhm.
the blending it into a puree with the Vitamixer because he's only got the 3 utensils and like then pouring it onto the plastic cutting board. and then scooping it up with like a napkin or something to eat it.
Who are you talking about? Who?
Shadow.
Oh,
It's just slander, just lies.
No, no,
Yeah.
no.
well, Justin, as a fat guy, you're fat as well. So lose some weight too. I mean,
So-
I'm sorry.
No,
The best salad is buffalo mozzarella,
Yeah.
tomatoes,
You want to say hi to Connell before you go?
basil, and balsamic vinegar on top of it. Is the
Yeah.
best salad in the world.
Yeah. I make my own pizza sauce with actually raw tomatoes. I don't do a sauce. I do raw tomatoes in the seasoning, and I've made the best pizzas that people are like, oh my god, what's the sauce? I'm like, I smashed a tomato, do some pizza seasoning on it. Basil, of course, being one live basil.
Yes. Hey!
It's
Yeah.
a shoulder. It's an elbow. Elbow.
Whose
Arm.
elbow is that?
That's my son.
Jackie.
Don't turn.
What?
I just got out of the shower.
Oh, he's
Hey,
a big.
son.
Oh my
Son,
Ah.
son, it's nice to meet you, son. Nice to meet your elbow, son.
Oh yeah.
That's Eldred.
By the way,
yeah.
I put the post up to Back to the Dungeon roleplay game. It's free. It's a giant crap fist of like
Oh, hold on,
rules and
let me-
bad
let me-
editing and bad English.
Let me
bad
go
grammar.
over there and
You should fix that.
copy it and put it in for everybody else.
Screw good English, no, or grammar. Yeah, the game needs to be good. It doesn't matter at grammar.
There,
We ain't got no bad grammar. I'm number 67 in the nation in education, Louisiana. So
It's not. That's not a respectable thing.
it's not disrespect. I mean, education is overrated. Look at all the super smart, educated people that are fucking our world up. Just saying.
Yeah. It's because you
Not
let
wrong.
them.
You're not wrong.
Well, you are them.
I'm not educated. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm ignorant and proud. Whatever ignorant means, whatever it is, it's bad. No,
You all have a good rest of the night. I have to go to work early in the morning.
where you go to work at, Connell?
I work at a restaurant here in Peoria.
Where's
I work-
Peoria at? Where's that at?
Peoria, Illinois.
Oh, Illinois. Okay. I'm down here in Ragley, Louisiana, north of Lake Charles, south of D. Ritter. If you ever get a chance, come and eat some Cajun food.
I love me some gumbo. I
Yeah.
love me some.
My wife makes incredible gumbo.
I love
And
me some
minestrone,
mud
too. Oh, yeah.
I love me some. There's a few other Cajun dishes.
You're a civilized, is what I'm hearing. You're
Yeah.
civilized,
Yes.
not a barbarian.
No, I've been. Oh God, I've been to a lot of America. I've seen a lot of America. I've yet to make it down to Nons. Not because I don't want to. Just money's kind of always been a thing.
Well, New Orleans, you really probably don't want to go. It's too crime-ridden at this point in time. Go to Baton Rouge or Lafayette
Rouge?
or Lake Charles.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Just hit the restaurants there. In fact, we got Luna's Bar and Grill in Lake Charles. That's like just going to appear on the Food Channel.
Rice
It's one of the best restaurants in the U.S.
Rice, black beans with shrimp.
Oh yeah, okay, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Let me give you a recipe. I'm gonna give you a recipe before you go. Take
All right.
lima beans, chicken, and sausage. Put onions, garlic, bell pepper, and some Tony Chachere's
all
into a
right.
crock pot. Let it cook overnight, where the lima beans get all squishy, and
Right,
the chicken and the sausage. So this is basically chicken gumbo, but you've replaced the roux with lima beans. And I don't really like lima beans, but when you mix it with chicken and sausage, you put that over some brown rice
Oh,
or whatever kind of rice you like. And
right.
it's like this. I'm
And
telling you what,
serve with
It's making me
crawfish.
hungry.
it will make your whole house smell good. Make sure you use a good sausage, like a Richard sausage or something like that.
Mm.
Some kind of good Cajun sausage,
killing
and
me.
will make your house smell
Um,
good the whole day. But anyway,
I have a KitchenAid that I can make sausages through. So for St. Patty's Day, I'm making some traditional bangers and mash
Why?
Because they're good.
because
You
it's
sure?
good.
I always
Yes.
heard that was pretty not good.
Well, if you
it
spoil
depends on the
Dad.
sausage. It depends on the sausage.
Okay.
But I want to get some. There's a place up here called Dixon's where they treat me really good. I'm thinking about getting maybe a couple pounds of ghetto. and making a gator sausage for my gumbo.
Shadow knows all about the gator sausage.
He likes the rocket.
What the hell is this? The Dick Van Dyke Show? Oh, I'm sorry. That's my joke that's been going on for decades. But
All right.
or
Let's
for
pick up-
decades. What were you going to say?
For
Decades.
dickheads.
let's
Shadow
take
knows all about the dickheads.
No.
Whatever.
I'm surrounded by them. I've
Tell
literally
it to the
surrounded-
hand because the hand. Tell it to the dick because the hand don't want to hear it, honey. Woo.
Next
He's
time I
had
get
the
an argument
dickheads
with-
ever since he did that docking maneuver with an open wound.
Next time I
What the
talk
hell
to
is
you
this?
next
The
live-
Dick Van Dyke Show?
God, you guys are so foul.
With all that being said, and everybody
Like a
who's
chicken.
in chat, I wanted to say you're all are amazing people. Shadow over
Yeah.
here does an amazing show, and he lets people like that asshole on. So
Hey,
with that
I'm
being-
like the co-host or some shit.
Something.
that's not helping my argument.
Good night, sport.
See, here's a scenario. We got Jack shit and Jack just went to bed. So you know what that leaves us. So with that being said, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go eat the rest of my cold tortellini and my fresh mozzarella pearls,
I just had some pea soup.
and
Some
probably
homemade pea soup.
watch.
So
what am I
golden
watching?
shower soup. Okay.
No, pea. Like with
No.
peas. Not
Peas and
piss.
ham, right? Got some ham.
Ham.
Oh,
Yeah.
peas and ham.
Oh.
Slow
Yeah.
cook that in a slow cooker, son. That's
Yeah,
good
oh,
stuff.
Okay,
right
no.
there.
Really quick. I'm gonna let you all
We
in
had
a
a ham roast.
family secret recipe. So secret that no one else in the world knows it. You get yourself some bacon. I mean, fat bacon. You throw that into a pan. Nice and crisp. You take the bacon out. You get some green beans. You throw that in there with some fresh garlic. You let it do its thing for a while. You throw the bacon back on top of it with some apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And it's perfect.
Add
Anyways.
some little taters in there, and that's real good too.
Oh man, I'm friends with Shadow on the Discord. So come find me, and me and you might have to do a show just talking about food.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
Shadow, you can't come because you don't know what good food is.
Dude, we can do. I got all kinds of recipes, man. I got crock pot recipes. I've got my wife makes a beefy minestrone that is off the hook. I'm talking about you will kill people for beefy minestrone.
I gotta
give you
reset.
that. I'll give you that recipe too.
Either way, everybody have a
Justin-
good night.
Endless pot. I love a good endless pot. I gotta.
Oh,
set one
endless
up.
pots are fantastic. Yeah, Justin, you just got a bunch of food street cred right there, son. How old are you, Justin? You look young.
39.
39. Yeah, you're just a baby. You're almost as old. You're a little bit older than my oldest daughter. So,
Is she single?
I hope she is because she's dating a piece of shit. If she dated Justin, I'd be glad, man. Because if she just would date anybody else than the piece of shit. She's dating like a 65-year-old piece of shit.
Oh. Wow.
Well, she's not dating him. He doesn't even call her a girlfriend, so I've tried to tell her dump this piece of garbage. You're wasting your life. But no, he's the love of my life. No, you're not the love of your life. You're his doormat. So I've stopped being kind to her on that.
Good for you.
Man,
Yeah.
I can't, he's never met me because he's scared of me because he knows. Because he had cancer and he's got a little chemotherapy thing. I'm going to tear that off his side and punch him out when I meet him. But, but that's just me. I'm the nice guy. He should have cut her loose years ago. He's too much of a coward to cut her loose. But I'm sorry. I'm sharing too much on this wonderful gaming channel. But
Yeah, wow. I mostly
Sorry.
call Shadow gay, so I don't know what you call this a gaming channel.
Shadow, what is this? The Dick Van Dyke Show or something? No.
No. It's just an old joke. I'm sure you've heard the story before.
If you haven't, I can recant it.
I've said the Dick Van Dyke Show joke for 20 plus years. I have this one safety manager. He's like a corporate safety guy. And when I say it, He's like this highly trained military guy. He actually will break down in person in front of people. Because I said it one time and he was like in front of a bunch of his corporate. He actually like broke down and almost fell on the floor.
Yes,
He's like, stop saying that. Stop saying it. You know, but it's been 20 plus years I've been saying it. So, because anytime he says a gay joke or something gay central, I'll say that and he can't take it. I'm like, you shouldn't have said the gay joke, bitch. You know, you're working for this one extremely woke company, so you should be all accepting. But, you know, but anyway.
No, maybe he is accepting it, but just
No, he's not. He's like military veteran type of guy that can kill everybody in the entire area. He's like highly trained.
Doesn't mean he doesn't like dudes.
Yeah,
No, he does like dude. He really does, and he really does. I know him that well. Unfortunately, the last few jobs I worked with
Army's
him,
gay now.
Well, he was Ranger maybe, but anyway, no, he's definitely not gay. But he also he could kill
Gay
everybody
adjacent.
in the area. But he could be gay adjacent. He could be.
Yeah.
He did end up treating me and all of his other people like shit when he lost who he was, and he ended up getting fired because I tried to give him advice and he got fired. He didn't listen to me. You know, but that's another thing.
Well, you told him only 2 dudes in the bathroom at the same time.
Yeah, he kept going like 10 or 15 guys in the porta-john. So I said, that's not right. He's like, stop judging me. I'm in management. I'm in upper management now. I'm corporate management.
When you need to set up a sex swing, you've gone too far.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was in upper management. So
Shadow, you've gone too far.
Lord, are we closing this out in such a negative manner? Let's do this.
Open in this kind of manner, bro.
Let's talk about this. People need a game, and they need to play the game and the rules they like. If you don't have rules you like, take all the rules from all your from the current version you like, and all the future versions that you don't like. But take the shit you like and make your best rules you can. Okay, like house rule the shit out of everything you do. Please
and remember, if you have a fuck pew around, you're in the wrong place.
But if you haven't tried Fatal, the role-playing game, because there's an anal circumference score, and that's the best score you could possibly have.
Have you played Men?
No, I have not. But I know those people, and I admire them greatly because they do not give up, even though their game company is not doing as well as they should.
Well, they're failing to take in the holidays, which precede the holidays by several months, and that eats into a lot of people's spare disposable cash, and we've still got a bit of that all the way until Valentine's Day.
Yeah, but the problem is they kind of challenged the social, or how do I say this? They got kicked off the drive-thru RPG, which is the largest. If we know if that's the company you're talking about, and and it's like things, they make fantastic games. They make incredible.
Yeah, they do. I just reviewed Uncharted Seas, I think it was.
Yeah,
and I also was the one of the guest judges for the Game Jam, and we'll be doing some videos on that. Literally, they make the best games I've ever seen when it comes to everything but fantasy. I only say that because I don't know what their fantasy, like their version of D&D is like, and I know they're not fans of D&D, so I wouldn't expect it to be the best fantasy game. But if you want games of other genres, the Red Room.
Epoch.
I haven't read that one either. I read Wretched Vigilantes, the Wretched RPG, Wretched Country, and Darker and Uncharted Seas, and those games could replace a whole stack of books in my collection. If I
keep telling them, create an eBay, Amazon edition.
Yeah,
right. Tone down the art and then go on.
I just talked to Miguel about that last week, and he's going to look into it because People like me and a few others out there that shout them out all the damn time. Plus,
And it's
their own
80% of the
channel.
global market of
Bees.
books.
Yeah, Bees loves them too.
You just gotta like put things in the right categories. You said Venger, he tried going on there and got booted, and I think it's because he probably put things in the wrong categories.
No, I think I'm pretty sure he's still on Amazon.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's,
but he probably has some people like myself. I have a few the loser, the liberal OSR, the Rainbow SR, the FKR Collective, and the NSR bastards.
Mhm.
If they're out there, there's enough of them to give you like enough complaints to kick your stuff off.
In Amazon, you have to have a verified purchase to leave a review.
Ah, okay.
Mhm.
They wouldn't buy his shit
for
No.
physical.
And I
for
just
physical
got a book
books.
of Avengers
Yeah.
a couple of months ago, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's on Amazon.
Yeah,
and
Avenger rules, man. Avenger rules.
Avenger and Miguel and Sylvia are literally my favorite game designers.
Well, Avenger's the king of the OSR. Yeah,
Other
he's
than the
king.
games I literally work on, which isn't fair that I lump them in there. But seriously, some of the best writers and researchers for their projects. It's just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And it's literally a crime against the hobby that they've been canceled or gone after.
Yeah.
Because there's pieces of shit that should be going after that are like losers and like garbage.
Yeah, so you have to have a verified purchase to leave a review for a physical product in the book section. And I don't think it's the same with ebooks, but just don't put your ebook up there, right? Like if it's the case, you have your own website. You can do the tag bar and say ebooks available on our website. Like you're not really supposed to do that on Amazon. They might tell you to like not put a link elsewhere. But obviously,
yeah, I'll let Venger and Miguel know not to put PDFs on Amazon. Just put the physicals, and that ought to give them some,
Well, do both. But if they see any like, with the negative reviews,
Justin, is if they got on somebody's shit list, they could literally have them booted before they could do anything about it.
I've had that. Now listen,
being on the other side of the planet, so to speak, one day is all it would take for a group of social justice warriors or whatever to go and just screw them over.
Well, tell me this: what is your opinion on zombie apocalypse role-playing games? Like, have you ever played something really good? Like back in 2016, a friend of mine, Eric Parcelini, and I released Without Hope Zombie Apocalypse. Can I send y'all some PDFs? Send me an email or a PM. I can send you a PDF of this game.
Yeah, you know where I am on. You're on my Discord, right?
Yeah. It's super simple game. It takes like 5 minutes to make a character because zombie apocalypses it shouldn't take. We probably have made.
I played some Medium, and I've also got this game called Undead States of America. Nobody ever heard of it. It's
never heard of it. By far, this is probably the best zombie apocalypse role playing game ever made because 5 minutes or less to make a character, and then the zombies are actually Romero, one bite your fuck type zombies. So
that's the way it should be.
Yeah, and the characters you pretty much make are all normal schlobs. You don't make a super character. You're not make. I mean, you could accidentally roll something badass, but for the most part, you roll normal people. Anyway, it's. I want to send y'all a copy because since y'all been nice enough to let me talk in public, and no most people like ban me, but
if you want, I could.
No, don't do that, Justin, please.
Why would anybody ban you?
He was talking about spinach a lot earlier.
Spinach is fucking awesome, man.
And
that version of Popeye isn't in the public domain yet, so
I'm a sailor man. I eat in the trash can. No, I'm sorry. I can't do Popeye. You need to stop.
You still gotta have him pet the weasel or whatever it was originally.
Pet the weasel.
It was like some vole or something like that. Originally, that's
Yeah,
what.
no,
what-
no Pauly Shore impersonations allowed on this show.
We is all. I like Pauly
That was
Shore.
really good though. That actually was the right tone, dude.
We is all.
The first one.
I'm actually a voice actor from 1980 because like all the people like Critical Role does voice
What
acting.
the
Like
fuck
we've been
is
doing that
Off-Grid
since
talking about?
'81. We've been doing 80s voice acting voices since '81.
He's talking about driving to conventions and sleeping in his vehicle.
Yeah,
Who?
but it's out of nowhere.
Who said that?
Off grid.
Yeah.
Off Grid. I tell you what, Off Grid, and we need to get him on here because he sounds pretty damn cool. I've like he's made
He's
some
been on here
comments
before.
elsewhere.
He's always welcome to come in. He's in my
Yeah.
Sunday game. He's one of our favorites, literally. Otherwise, he wouldn't be in my game. If you're not in my game, you know.
Plus, he has a beard that's off the fucking hook because I'm jealous. Because normally when I go to the plants, I have to shave my beard. When I don't, I look really sexy with my beard lads. I look really good with my beard lads. I'm telling you that much.
But
Yeah, I had to chop off that freaking wispy little thing. I couldn't handle that anymore. This is about it for me when it comes to a beard. Anything more is just
Eldred, you could always just say it was like a religious thing, and they couldn't have you shave it off because
even though I'm a safety man, I don't wear fresh air. You have to shave your beard because you might wear fresh air. I'm like, I'm not even trained for fresh air. I'm not allowed to wear fresh air because I'm not trained. And
but for religious reasons, you know.
I could say I'm Muslim. Actually, I could try that.
Well,
or Jew.
you know, an Orthodox.
I'm actually 1/4 Jew, so I could if y'all want to hear any good Jew jokes, I can say them because I'm Jewish. So
I can say them too.
Hey, how did the first copper wire be made? Two Jews
fight over a penny.
Yeah, okay, never mind. You know that one.
That's it's like the oldest, like the original.
I can say them too, but I'm 0% Jewish.
Yeah,
you can't say them. You're not allowed. Just like the N word, you can't say the N word either. So.
My friend Kyle says otherwise.
Go say the N word. Go say the N word if you're so brave. Go say it.
Faggot.
You can't do it.
No.
See, not so brave now. You can pick on the Jews, but you can't pick on the N-word people.
We don't really do that.
Niger.
No, it's your people from
it's not my channel.
Naimbia from Naimbia. I'm
expecting this to be the last show ever. Just saying.
Just saying.
Yeah, because we talked about the
everybody's seen my favorite guy.
Who's that? I did not see that coming.
You obviously haven't been watching long enough.
What am I going to do with you guys? I swear to God, if I wake up tomorrow and there's no channel, I'm going to hunt you down.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I'm Jewish. I've been totally harmed here, you know.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
I'm okay with that.
All in jest, folks. We're just trying to be funny.
I've got a can. It's about this big. It's got a dark blue label on it.
If you can't take a joke, and
everyone involved is dead. Okay, so I'm just letting you know those jokes, but
yeah,
except for me, I'm not still alive.
Except for see now, even Off Grid's leaving. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, brother.
Hey, everybody, have a good one. Play games, play what you like. May you all roll a 20. If not, then roll a 1. You piece of garbage. But
not me. I'll roll the score.
Unless you're trying to roll a 1. I mean, sometimes you're trying to roll a 1. Just saying.
If you roll an attribute or less,
I know, right, Cal? And I would be worried, but nobody watches this channel, so there's always that, you know.
You got that, yeah. There's like 6 people watching, maybe. How many people's watching?
He usually gets 50 or 60 by the end of the night.
They're all good friends of mine.
Sometimes
you need to read more druid spells. Yeah, you do, because you're going to start to be able to cast 5th level druid spells, and that's where it starts to get really interesting. Although that call lightning is, oh my god, it's one of the most spells ever.
I need to learn everything I can do now as a thief in training. But you have to tell me because I ain't reading the book. That sounds like fucking work.
It's just like the abilities.
Just play Ostrich.
No, we're
We're
playing
actually playing
AD&D.
AD&D First Edition.
No, play Ostrich.
Yeah,
No.
everything I love about AD&D was stripped from Second Edition on. Things like the assassin, things like what the druids can do. Um, just the original ranger I love more than any other ranger I've ever seen. Uh, there's so many things that they took out of gaming that was in AD&D and it was never seen again, and it just bums me out. When I started playing Second Edition, I'm like, or not playing. When I started buying the books, I'm like, they took out everything I like. I liked the multi-class bard. I didn't like the Second Edition bard. I like
Second edition was the fourth edition of the OSR, right? Of the old school, right? Is that what you're trying to say? I made so many people mad with that because there's so many people that worship Second Edition. I'm like, other than its Forgotten Realms content, which was like very detailed, and every little town had a map.
is that the one that had? Am I thinking Mystara? Because Hollow Earth. When I read through Hollow Earth, I wanted to burn all my Second Edition books.
Well, the second edition's Forgotten Realms had a map of every little town, and they had really good detail. Other than that, second edition is the fourth edition of the old school. So,
Right. Although their Ravenloft was good, as was Dark Sun was okay. Not my cup of tea, but it was awesome. And there was something else I did like about. I think second edition was when they really did the Grey Mouser and Fafford series right. That was awesome. But the core Player's Handbook DMG was just I just hated it. I hated everything about it.
hey, Cal said Bloodworth did another vid on running 1E for new players. Let's get Bloodworth on here, man.
He was on here for the Shauner wake. When Shauner passed away, I had Bloodworth and I had Dungeon Minister and a bunch of other people on to say adios to Shauner.
Did anyone tell Shauner he was not allowed to pass away?
Yeah, I think I probably actually did.
What the fuck? Something just hit my window outside.
Yeah, it was a rabbi.
Yeah,
I'm out in the country, so it's got to be some. I have a fenced-in yard, so what the?
But I did get to talk to Shauner's family several times, even over the holidays.
Did you hear what I said?
No, I didn't.
He said something hit my window. I said, "Yeah, it was a rabbi."
Right. Yeah, I did hear that. I tried using 2E for because there was things like the thief. They did the thief spectacularly.
Yeah, it was good.
He heard you guys talking about a penny earlier.
Could be.
And there were some, there was some stuff that was okay or good or even great about it, but the things that they cut from first edition, just like I said, the assassin.
Yeah,
Absolutely
I agree. When I read 1E, I was like, "What the hell? Why'd they do that? Why?
It was all in the fear of the satanic panic and making it more digestible to the lowest common denominator, making more money and making it more accessible, and appeasing the moms out there and the dads who were upset that their kids' game books had side boobs and demons and things that appeared.
Didn't worship the devil anymore. It really fucking sucks, and I feel attacked. No, but hey, have you seen Adventures Dark and
Devil?
What was it? Third edition rolled around, and now you can play a half demon.
Yeah, they fucking took Moloch off the cover of the book, man.
Yeah, but
that's like literally a religious attack against you, man.
Did you ever see Adventures Dark and Deep by Robert Bloch, the Blackmore, whatever crazy? He's like the Blackmore expert. Have you ever seen Adventures AD&D Adventures Dark and Deep?
No, but the same people who did that documentary are working on the Arduin documentary, which Jackie will be on it, because Arduin is literally one of the oldest game products of all time.
Yeah, I got some Arduin books.
You can ask this guy up here. I made Caladan my bitch. I'm gonna go back to it, take it over, and it's gonna be my living room.
But yeah, look up Adventures Dark and Deep. He's got some. He basically took all the suggestions that Gary Gygax made across the decades and stuck it into an AD&D clone not really a clone, but kind of a clone.
Mm-hmm.
And the monster book is absolutely, it's all compatible with AD&D, but take a look at Adventures Dark and Deep.
I guess Cal and Off Grid were there too when I did that, but
Yeah,
They don't
and
count.
then I had to retire my Moloch because I needed more room for actual books. My dice tower, it was just
Yeah.
sitting there.
He
It
can
was
go stand
cool.
by his volcano.
Mhm.
Well, I
His
I
pile of
almost to go. I
foreskins.
got to go outside and see what's outside my house making
I
noise.
told you already. It was a rabbi looking for that penny you were talking about.
Should I bring my SKS or my samurai sword? Which one should I'm gonna bring the sword because I think I want to get up close first.
Bring some quarters. If you throw them really far, he'll leave.
No, they don't. They don't take quarters. They take only like $1,000 bills. So.
Yeah, they don't know until they pick it up.
Do you know what's happening? Do you know what's happening? No. All right.
Should you know?
Take care, Eldred. Nice having you on board tonight. Come back
Fantastic.
See you around, bro.
and
All right, we'll
with
have to
that.
game together. I think we game together before this hill.
Oh yeah, we got to get Bubba in on it too.
Yeah. All right.
Bubba.
Later
Yeah, but I get to make you a character.
That's not how that works, but
I'm just gonna give him a picture of the happy merchant. Play this guy. We'll all be poor by the end of the session.
could be.
So tomorrow night and then
5
Monday.
p.m. and then Monday your show. Yep, I'm gonna go try and get some writing done
I
tonight.
wanted to do that an hour ago. But
Yeah, well, we were having
fucking
fun.
Connell.
Yeah, well, family's family. So what are we gonna do, right? Say nope, you can't come on. Yeah, no, not doing that.
Yeah.
And Jackie was right here, so I'll see you
His
tomorrow.
elbow was. I don't know.
Cal, I'll see you tomorrow. Off Grid, I'll see you tomorrow. Omen, I'll see you tomorrow. Armstrong, if you're watching this, we'll see you tomorrow. Raven, we'll see you tomorrow.
She's gonna pop in right now.
I feel like I'm forgetting somebody.
Me?
Oh, I said you, Omen, Armstrong, Off Grid, Cal,
Raven.
somebody else. Maybe not. Oh well, I will see everybody else out there. Hopefully soon, and
Good night.
and I won't get in trouble for this video. But if I do, you'll find me over on Rumble.
Yeah, you won't get in trouble.
I know.
At the very most, they'll make you take that stupid little survey. Do you know what you did wrong? Here's an example. Here's our re-education camp.
Take care, Mike. Looking forward to the game next Saturday with you too, Cal, and that'll be fun over on OG's game. Everybody else, have a great weekend. Go to
Party
church.
on.
Seriously, go to church. And my hair's freaking. Now I'm flipping my hair. I do that all the time, but I hate shit in my ears. So
Yeah.
peace, everybody. God bless, and
Except
of
for
course,
cum. He loves cum in his ears.
happy.